welcome to this game of the Brisbane Premier League. My name's Bo, I'm joined by Josh. Josh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bo. How are we feeling?
Good, mate. It's my third game for the day, your second. Let's rip into it. We've got the Coastal Marlins who are fielding. We've already commentated the Coastal Marlins today, so we're well acquainted. And the Southern Rockets are batting, and it looks like the right-handed Matthew Weaver is going to take the first strike with Connor McInerney at the non-striker's end. And it looks like Adam Summerfield might be opening the bowling for the Marlins, but I will confirm that. Weaver batted pretty well in the previous game, got 32 off 27. He's a bit of a goer, but this pitch is playing a little bit two-paced.
Yes, as they spoke about it last match, the two-pace bounce on it all, and interesting to see how they start their innings off.
Gonna leave our side off. 23 versus 23 here, Summerfield versus Weaver. Weaver's a very, very experienced opening bat from South Australia. He's won multiple first grade premierships down in their competitions, and obviously the lure of the Brisbane Premier League, such an exciting format, has brought him up north. And Connor McInerney, his batting partner, also from South Australia, has played some shield for South Australia, so very exciting to see them batting together.
As we were talking about just earlier off air, Brisbane, what a place to live, mate. And
Yes.
they move up here and in the BPL. They, as you said, very talented cricketers, both in their own right. And hopefully they can get away to a good start here for their side.
So in the previous game, McInerney only made one run, and that was a big moment when he got out. This is good bowling for Summerfield. In the previous game, Weaver did make room a lot. He sort of exposed his stumps a fair bit to try and access the offside. Summerfield pretty happy to follow him there.
Yeah, don't blame him either. And I saw the Marlins boys watching the end of the innings in the last match, so a few keen eyes on the talent.
Doing a bit of recon. There's a slower ball there, does not pick the gap. So another ball. This is 4 dots to start for Summerfield, very impressive. Joshy, who do you reckon you'd rather be in this situation? The Coastal Marlins who played the first time slot and had a game off, or the Southern Rockets who played the second time slot and are backing up straight away?
I will wait for this ball.
Oh, never mind, I'll come back to you. That was a good call, waiting for that one. He smashed it into his off stump. Matthew Weaver exposes those stumps like we talked about, and Summerfield, a bit too good. The light blue number 23 takes care of the dark blue number 23.
Well, you know what, Bo, I think you're going to agree with Matt Weaver will agree with me on this one. I think you'd rather be the Marlins. I think you play this morning. Unfortunately, they did lose to the Magic, but it gave them some time off. A chance to rest up and relax and rejuvenate. Whereas for the Scorchers, they've just come off a loss and now they have to back up immediately. And Weaver, he's found himself one in the first game and now a duck.
Absolutely, and that puts us at 1 for none with the Southern Rockets. That is not the start that they're looking for. We've got number 24 striding to the crease. We'll get a name for you in just a moment. Summerfield, what a start. 4 dots. He sussed out Weaver, saw that he was backing away, and then decided, you know what, I'm just going to take his off peg.
Exactly right. Who would you rather be?
I agree with you. I think I would like the break. I've been to a few too many indoor cricket tournaments where you play like 7 or 8 games in one weekend, and you are cooked if you don't have those little gaps in the middle to have a quick shower or something like that. A lot of these gents, chafe is an issue without being gross, so you want to make sure you can shower as Summerfield comes in to complete his wicket maiden to open this innings. That's a great start for the Coastal Marlins.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, it's very warm too, isn't it? So, you're stuck out in the field, and then you got to go in and play another game, and you just don't get that chance to refuel and rejuvenate, I suppose. So the Marlins have definitely capitalised on that in the opening over.
And they are looking to capitalise indeed, going to the experienced Lloyd Aspen, who has been a star performer for them with bat and ball thus far in the tournament. He'll be bowling to Connor McInerney. Just to clarify, the third batter in is Jones for the Southern Rockets. Number 24, Jones. So Connor McInerney, the Southern Rockets in the previous game, they lost 2 wickets in the first 2 overs, Josh, and they were 2 for 8 at one point there. McInerney and Radshelders were both out. So it was up to Weaver and Lee Drennan, the captain, to try and steady the ship a little bit as Connor McInerney gets off the mark with a single and gets the Southern Rockets off the mark.
Yes, 1 for 1. Not the most ideal score in the power play, especially after they experienced how much it can damage you in the first game of their day. So hopefully these two boys can find the boundary on a couple of occasions in the next couple of overs.
And Grayson Jones will be tasked with that job. He is from the Wynnum Club. Got here that he was a late replacement into the squad with Brendan Smith having to pull out. Boyd Aspen gets a dot there as well. Yeah, it's certainly not an ideal start for the Southern Rockets. Their confidence will be a little bit down after being defeated by the Darling Dingoes no more than half an hour ago. It was a tight finish.
Right. Yes, I mean, as you and Joe were pumping up at the end there, but no, you're right. It did go down. Well, it went down to the last over, of course, and
certainly
there was a run-out chance in the last ball.
Yeah, it was. Oh wow, we got a top edge from Grayson Jones. It won't quite carry to third man. You look for two, he does, but Connor McInerney wants no part in it. Just a single is taken. That's an interesting way to get off the mark, but I suppose I'll take it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, no, it was a very tight finish. So yeah, unlucky in a sense there, the Scorchers against the Dingoes, but in a way, you know, the opposite you can look at it is the Marlins, you know, have had time to not stew over their loss, but count their chickens, I suppose. And the Scorchers, however, they just get on with things. After losing to the Dingoes in the previous game, as that ball will roll on down to third man, and they will just take a single. Losing the previous game, they just get on with things and not dwell over what could have been, and they're straight back into it. So who knows? Everyone reacts differently, so it'd be interesting to see how these Scorchers do react.
It's a good point that you make. I wonder if losing a wicket in the first over of their last loss and then the first over of this game, whether that will be playing some tricks to the mind. But Connor McInerney, a very experienced campaigner, so is Grayson Jones, as he pulls beautifully to the mid-wicket boundary and onto the other field. In fact,
there we go. Pick the gap, all right.
I thought it was gonna crash into the fence, but it goes even further. That ball would have travelled over 100 metres from the bat. 4 runs from Grayson Jones. That's a much better way to make contact with the ball than the previous attempt where he skied it to third man. Much more confidence building for him, and a message to Lloyd Aspen: if you are going to drop it short, you better get it around my head, because otherwise I'm going to pull it for 4.
That's something we haven't seen too often today, Bo, is the old bumper or bouncer.
Underused in 2020, I think, as Jones takes a single on a misfield, so he'll keep the strike at the end of the over.
Obviously, it's a hard ball to execute at the best of times, but I think from memory, from what I've seen, there's only been one. I'm not sure if you've seen any more from the...
Over the last couple of weeks, I have seen a couple, but I only saw the one today.
Yes, today, yes.
And that was a good one too. It was right at the end.
It was.
Of the Darling Dingoes Southern Rockets game. I think it was Lachlan Honan that bowled it, and we'll maybe get to see him bowling later on. Just a reminder that this is the 3rd over of the innings, and therefore part of the 4-over power play, where the Marlins can only have 2 fielders outside the inner circle. At this stage, I think they're only electing to have 1 outside. It's a third man. Everybody else is in the circle.
That's exactly right.
So Captain Zach Kuhn has the option to have all the fielders in if he wants to. He doesn't have to have 2 out, and he's chosen to have 1.
Well, they also have 1 slip in too.
Yeah, very interesting.
At this stage.
Slower ball and a bit of a miss hit there from Jones. Good bowling from Summerfield. Still hasn't conceded a run.
So that's interesting. They only having 1 fielder on the boundary. If they do come away unscathed, really, the Marlins, and it builds a lot of confidence immediately, just knowing that you didn't use all your weapons, so to speak, and you've been able to contain the batsman to date.
A bit of a mental victory.
Exactly right.
Yeah. so far the mental victory being absolutely won single-handedly by Adam Summerfield here. 8 deliveries, 1 wicket, 0 runs. That might not even be considered. That might be a leg bye. I don't think he signalled leg bye.
No, I didn't see.
He kind of tapped his thigh. That was a bit confusing.
I don't know if that's a signal though. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think it's kind of the same as like when an umpire, like, there's a big shout for caught behind, and then they raise the finger
And
to
scratch their nose.
Scratch the nose. A little bit of that going on there.
Oh,
So
man.
the first runs off the bat from Summerfield, scored by Grayson Jones there. Moved to score on to 1 for 9 off 2.5 overs. Yeah, really good stuff from Summerfield. He's one of the strike bowlers for the Coastal Marlins.
Well, just thinking about it, if you compare this game to the first one the Marlins played against the Magic, Edwards just went ballistic
Yes.
to begin with. So this is a much different start to what they experienced in their first game. Edwards caught a hold of a lot of their bowlers, really.
Yeah, it didn't really discriminate, did he?
No,
It was barely going after everybody.
yeah.
It was an incredible effort from Brenton Edwards. That's a full toss.
Is that a no ball?
No,
No,
it's not
it's
been
not.
called. So a low full toss. Connor McInerney will be very disappointed that he hasn't cashed in on that. Jet Liebke does well at keeper. There is a deep square leg out there, so there is some risk to the shot, but probably in the kind of wheelhouse. He could have put it in front of square.
Exactly right. But yeah, no Edwards and these two batsmen at the moment just struggling to get it out of the middle. They got one shot away. I think that was Jones from memory. Went for 4, but yeah, just unable to get it clean at the moment.
Summerfield's doing an excellent job here. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 1, and the score is 1 for 9 after 3. So he's definitely doing the job that his captain wants of him.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see who they go with here to finish off the power play. You'd guess Aspen?
It looks like it, yes.
Yeah, it looks like it might be. So no trickery as such from the Marlins. They're onto a good thing, they reckon. 1 for 9 after 3.
That's exactly right.
Don't blame them, frankly.
No, not at all. Do you remember what the power play finished for the Scorchers in the last game?
The Rockets.
Oh, sorry, Rockets.
You're right. Well, they were 2 for 8 after 2. I don't recall. I think it was like 2 for maybe 20 odd. So they recovered okay, but it was hard to score runs. And I wonder if the the Coastal Marlins have acknowledged that it is a bit too paced out there, like the Rockets have been talking about, and it'll be good to just use the pitch. You know, get the ball in there, maybe slightly back of a length. Use your changes of pace, and see if we can extract. Obviously, make it difficult to score with that inconsistent pace and bounce.
Yeah,
But also, jag a false shot or 2 and get a wicket.
exactly right.
As Grayson Jones faces up to Aspen, and he goes for that big. Like, he advances and goes for the big shot, and it is a false shot. But it,
Before, you'd imagine.
yeah, it races away down to the bush end there.
There we go.
So there's the false shot.
Yes,
But 4 runs nonetheless.
that's exactly right. A bit lucky there for Jones, but you'll take it. You'll take any runs, as we discussed earlier today. The reverse sweep and all the unorthodox sort of shots. Is it worth it? Well, if it scores runs, yes, it is.
Yep.
So yeah, Jones again back on strike. Aspen just calling his 3rd man a little straighter. As Jones gets down and sends it through on the offside, down to extra cover as they'll just take the single.
So Jones has been the main aggressor thus far. It's been a quiet start for Connor McInerney, the kind of batter that, if he does spend some time at the crease, Connor, he could score 70 or 80. It's just a matter of, can he get through this difficult period?
Well, he gets that one away, and that'll roll down towards the boundary on long off, and it is 4. So McInerney gets his first boundary of the innings.
Yeah, that's not quite as clean as he would have liked, was it? But Yeah, 4 runs nonetheless. He'll take that. It was a bit more convincing than Jones's last 4. To be fair, one thing we noticed, Joel and I did the commentary of the last game, the Dingoes versus the Rockets, and as Aspen comes into McInerney and goes short.
There we go.
And that's the one for the over. Is that the big difference in the end was the class of Sam Truloff. That's a player that has played Sheffield Shield level. Held the innings together really nicely, got that 52 off 38, because it is tough to bat out there. Connor McInerney has that class, so he has a big job to do here for the Southern Rockets.
Yes.
They it is a tough pitch to bat on, but this is a guy that's faced up to guys like Mitchell Stark and Josh Hazelwood.
Yes.
So he has a job to do for his team. Direct hit, but quite comfortably in.
Yeah, interesting you say he's had that experience against the likes of Hazelwood and Stark. It's definitely handy, and it definitely help in situations like these when your back's against the wall and the pressure's not all on you, but you're definitely asked to play a key role in setting up and driving the innings forward.
It's a relatively quiet power play, Josh. It's only 1 for 19 off the 4 overs, and now the Marlins have the luxury of being able to put a few extra players back. I didn't quite see what number that is on the back of that bowler, so I'll let you know who that is in just a moment. Once I get confirmation. So so far the bowling figures are Lloyd Aspen 2 overs, none for 18, and Adam Summerfield 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 1.
Yes.
Bit of a Jekyll and Hyde bowling performance.
That's exactly right.
And Aspen hasn't bowled that badly. It's just had a couple of unlucky, skied shots
That's
down
right.
to a vacant third man region. And away you
Exactly
go. It's like the right armour. This might be.
Oh,
Beats him outside the off stump.
well kept. Half semi shout just to keep things interesting.
A little bit excited was Hamal there.
Yes.
Shah Hamal, the off spinner from the Coastal Marlins. As McInerney just presses into the offside there for a single. He moves him to 8 off his 10 deliveries. Grayson Jones is 12 off his 11.
Yes. No, they are not the most ideal power play, and not the biggest one you'll find, but at least they didn't lose too many wickets in those 4 overs. As Jones just defends. Some good bowling by Hamal. They have a long on, long off, deep square. Another one on the boundary, as that's another dot ball, and
Quite sharp really from Hamal, isn't it?
yes,
Just really zooting it through. Or zooming it through, if you will. Zoom for our major sponsors, Mazda. Zoom in and out the stumps there.
I'll send that onto the onside, and they're going to come back for 2. Well run. They pick up 2 runs. There probably was 2 in it, but they went through the first a bit slow, and then picked up the urgency.
Yeah, a little bit laissez-faire, wasn't it?
Yes.
But, it looked like a bit of a miss hit there from Grayson Jones, as if you expected it to bounce more.
Yes, I would agree.
A little bit subterranean there from Shah Hamal. 2 runs a result. That's a full toss. That one didn't even get to the turf until it's hit. Just the 1 to long on there. And that's
Send the over.
pretty economical over from Shah Hamal. Moves the score on to 1 for 23. He conceded just 4 runs from his over.
Now I've got to ask, Bo. I heard you and Joel talking about it, as he was very hungry. How's the Greek van? You rate it?
Well, I didn't actually visit the Greek
Oh,
van.
you didn't go to the Greek
He
van?
rates it. I went to
Okay.
the wood fire pizza.
And how was that?
It's gone okay.
Good.
Yeah, it was low $20 for a wood fire pizza, which is it's not so bad price wise.
That's all right. What would you give it out of 10? If you
Oh, if I'm giving it out of 10,
had to rate it?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. You're asking the wrong person, actually. I was just talking to Joel, and he said that one of his radio segments that he does at Rebel FM is pizza reviews.
Right.
So he's the person.
So
to
he's the
ask.
guy to talk to.
he's the man.
Right.
I will give it a glowing endorsement, though, and thank you to the caterers for coming out here
Yes.
today.
What a wicket.
That is not the person you want to hit it to. Zach Kuhn, very safe pair of hands. And Grayson Jones dismissed. He's out for 15 off. That would be his 16th delivery. So
Nice.
a big wicket, 2 for 23 Southern Rockets after 5.
There you go. Yes, Jones is catching it. He's trying to get it towards the offside, but Kuhn, the captain of the Marlins, safe pair of hands, and that'll dismiss him for, as you said, 15 runs, which brings our man, the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, Lee Drennan.
Lee Drennan.
Lee Drennan. Are you a fan of sports podcasts at all?
I love a sports podcast.
So he does a podcast with Hazlitt, Sammy Hazlitt,
There you go.
called We Got the Chocolates.
Right.
Lethal Lee Drennan.
I love the names. We got the chocolates,
Yeah,
and you
it's
wouldn't even think it's associated with sport, would you?
No, you wouldn't. He's a very good podcaster, actually, Lethal Lee. I kind of look up to him as a fellow podcaster myself. It's probably a bit rough of him to put me in the same category. He's well above my pay grade. But yeah, he's very charismatic. He's a very smart cricketer as well. He knows the game inside and out. And last game, when the Rockets needed to build some sort of competitive total when they're
Yes.
2 for 8 after 2 overs, he was the one that hit 46 runs. I mean, it was on 49 balls,
Yep.
but someone's got to get those runs.
Exactly right.
And he did that. He's from the Redlands Club, and he's the backup keeper to Jimmy Pearson.
Yep.
And when Jimmy Pearson's on state duty, obviously he gets the gloves himself, Lee Drennan. But even when Jimmy Pearson's there, he still makes the side as a batter. He's that good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
there's an example of it right
That's
there.
exactly right. What a good shot. Just cut it away for 4. And Lee Drennan, everything he said seems very true there, Bo. How tall do you reckon he is?
Not very,
No.
is the answer.
Yeah.
I'm not a tall man myself, but I would say I've got him covered. He's got me covered for cricket, though, and that's all that matters.
That's exactly right. You find all the, you look at the David Warners and guys like that and that ilk, their height isn't their biggest strength, is it?
It's not a barrier, though,
No,
is it? Like
not at
they
all.
still manage to. I mean, David Warner's one of the great Australian openers.
Exactly.
Good call, no run. It's a bit of a stacked Redlands team that Lee Drennan's a part of, actually, with the likes of Simon Malenko, with the likes of Marnus Labuschagne, with the likes of Jimmy Pearson, of course, as well. Very, very good side, and he still manages to squeeze himself in at the top of the order or near the top of the order. Usually a pretty good sign if you can play the game.
Yes, exactly right.
As Aspen comes in to bowl to him. Looking to stay busy there, Lee Drennan. It's a bit of a hallmark of his game.
So that's another thing. He looks quick between the wickets.
Mm.
He can get off the mark and can turn 1 into 2, 2 into 3, and so forth. So, yeah, and that shot he played, that was very nice. Cut the gap, brilliant.
Exquisite. What do you reckon is the most aesthetically pleasing shot? It's got to be the cover drive, right?
I think as a traditionalist, yes.
But that cut shot looks equally excellent.
I think the cover driver is very aesthetic, but when you got someone like Lee Drennan out there just playing it late, cutting it right through the gap for 4, I mean that competes for sure.
Times the absolute pants off it. That means the score is now 2 for 27 after 6 overs for the Southern Rockets. So they're operating at around about that 4.5 and over, which is not where they'd want to be, obviously. But they're going to obviously. But this is very similar trajectory to what they had to do last time. The only difference being, instead of having Matthew Weaver at the crease with Lee Drennan, they've got Connor McInerney, which is not a trade down. He's a very good cricketer. So they're on the same sort of path towards 130, 140 maybe.
Yes, exactly right. Which is probably the average score, would you say, for the BPL?
Yeah, give or take. It's a competitive score.
Yes.
Although on this ground, Coastal Marlins got chased down when they hit 167.
Yes.
And the Rockets got chased down to hit 144. So there are runs out there.
As that's hit onto the onside and just be a single while we've got a quick second. You're rating for the pizza?
You wouldn't let me get
no,
away.
I'm not forgetting.
I'll give it an 8.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yes.
Decent. We have a change of the bowling, by the way. I believe it's Anthony Charith or Charith Anthony. He'll be bowling to Lee Drennan after McInerney just knocked him away for a single on the leg side. Speaking of that pizza, I might continue to dip into it. So
please.
if anyone hears any crunching, it's because I'm enjoying this 8 out of 10 pizza.
That is again cut away by Lee Drennan. Seems to be a strength of his, and that'll just be a single.
Lee Drennan also loves a sweep shot, by the way.
Okay, there we go.
One to watch out for.
McInerney now on strike. And that's just sent down to long on. It'll be another single, which brings Drennan back on strike. See, I cover drive very aesthetic, but the on drive, from what I've been told, is technically one of the hardest shots to sort of play, balance-wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to overcommit on the front foot.
No.
And still get that timing like right below your eyes. There's that sweep shot. Oh, he almost gets himself out with it.
And they just scuttle through for a single. There you go. You called it the sweep shot.
I do love a good on drive. I myself can't play them.
No.
Very difficult.
Wouldn't know where to start, to be honest.
Hold the bat. Hope for the best.
Exactly right. McInerney gets down on one knee and gets it on the onside again. Square leg, fields it, and it's another single as they keep going up by ones. The Rockets.
Bit of binary code at the moment, dots and ones. Lee Drennan, I'm picking another sweep shot here.
Okay.
Ah, boo!
Up on the offside.
Boo!
Oh, wow.
Cuts or sweeps?
Exactly, and that's the end of the over.
Another economical one for the Coastal Marlins. The score is 2 for 32 after 7 overs, which has them at about 4.58.
You probably want to start trying to bump that up a tad.
Yeah.
As we continue through this innings.
Looks like Hamal is going to switch ends. They're going to save 1 over of Lloyd Aspen. He's bowled 3 overs, 1 for 22, so pretty reasonable figures.
Yes.
I'd say that's about right. Hamal coming on at the good-looking end.
McInerney again on that leg side. He loves that leg side. Another single. 4 in.
He stands nice and tall as a batter, doesn't he? Like really uses his height nicely to get back and make that an effortless kind of just prod to the leg side.
Yes. No, most definitely. Looks like they're just wanting a change. Not to necessarily change the field, but reposition.
Yeah, minor adjustments. We'll see if it. Can you imagine, like just like move someone 2 meters straight to his chest, bang? How good does that feel?
And that's down to long on. It's fielded by Corey Hunter. And thrown back, as we saw in the first game. The fielder was about 5 yards, well, not 5 yards, rather, probably about 5 to 10 metres forward of the boundary, and they hit a 6, but arguably if he was on the boundary he might have been with a chance to make a catch, or if not, save 6 runs. There's a run out shout and it's not given.
That incident you're talking about was during the Edwards massacre where he's just absolutely obliterated
That's exactly right.
the Coastal Marlins. He was the difference in that game. Just incredible.
He had a day out with Edwards.
Kamal into McInerney. Oh!
Ooh.
Up in there.
Yes.
Bit of something in the pitch. It looked particularly slow, actually. That
It
like
did.
it just sort of ragged,
It
but like
did.
slowly.
I mean, McInerney played it quite well in the end, to be fair.
That's a bit shallow.
Yeah. And again on his pads, he tries to work it through a gap, but mid-wicket there to stop any runs from being scored. It's just tapped away for a dot.
Very good over again for the Coastal Marlins. No boundaries, and they're just applying the stranglehold here. It's been a pretty professional effort thus far. Just getting a score update. 2 for 36 after 8 overs, so bang on 4 runs and over now.
These two are just slowly building though at the moment. McInerney and
Drennan.
Drennan.
McInerney and Drennan.
So I had Dressels in my
Dressels?
yes.
That sounds like a football player.
No, that's a Olympic swimmer, Caleb Dressels.
Oh, of course, yes, from America.
Yes, so he got caught up there with Dressels, Drennan. But no, they're just building slowly, which is okay. I mean, you know, like they haven't. The thing is, they still got wickets in the shed. You know, as you said, Drennan put in a classy performance not too long ago.
He's got his eye in. He only batted like a couple of hours ago. They're just not finding the middle of the bat very often, are they?
No.
It must still be hard work out there on that pitch, and I think Zach Kieran has recognised that for the Coastal Marlins, and he's got the spinners operating at both ends here just to mix up line length, flight.
It's amazing to think, though, that when T20 was, you know, growing and becoming, you know, a massive part of cricket, how there was fears over the spinners.
Yeah.
There was, you know, the art of spin will die and all the rest of it. And amazingly, they are what a lot of teams hold their hopes on.
Yeah, like honestly, if you don't have at least 2 spin options in your team in a 2020 game, you're struggling.
Yes.
And they have to be. You have to find at least 6 or 7 overs of spin at least, and then if you're playing on the subcontinent, you need to find at least 16 overs.
Yeah, that's right.
16 overs of spin at least.
That's very true.
Unless you're India, have you seen their pace attack recently? My goodness,
Yes.
class there. They go toe to toe with Australia's pace attack any day, I reckon. As Drennan advances, would have been a great catch. Overcommits, but gets back.
Yes, no, India, they are obviously over there touring England as we speak.
Yeah, they cancelled Test.
They cancelled the last Test at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Been a bit of controversy around that.
Yeah, it has
the
been.
IPL coming up and all the rest of it. So that's very intriguing.
I still think that Indian win on Australian soil in the last Test series was pretty remarkable.
Well, I went to day 3 and then obviously on day 5 they just opened the gates and you could walk in, and I went there for for the last session and a half, and you sit there thinking there's no way this can be happening, but as each over went by, each hour went by, you were just in absolute disbelief as to what was unfolding in front of your eyes.
Yeah, incredible series victory for India, and the grip tightens here for the Coastal Marlins, who have got the Southern Rockets at 2 for 41 after 9 overs. So just dipping back above that 4 runs and over, back to about 4.5. Oh, it's a missed opportunity for Drennan, but it probably will be a wide, unless it's a leg bye.
And
a leg bite.
It's a leg bite.
Must have clipped a little bit of Lee Drennan. That's a missed opportunity because that fine leg
Was up.
Is there a no? That's there are supporters down on the boundary there.
Yes. No, fine leg was up.
Yeah. That was, he'll be kicking himself there. Lee Drennan loves the horizontal bat shot to the spinners.
Another slower one.
It's not a bad poi at the moment. I wonder how much advice they're getting from Shay down at. He's currently the third man boundary. He's a young man with Down syndrome. Shay, I've come across him a couple of times in my line of work and indoor cricket. As McInerney picks out the gap at Cow, and that'll be 4 runs. Shay, very enthusiastic cricketer, loves the Big Bash. He loves the Australian players, loves Chris Lynn, and he loves the Coastal Marlins. He's one of their chief advisors. So he's down the boundary, giving some tips. I can see down there.
Yes. No, he's a great support for this team. For when they're warming up,
Yep.
he's all about it, and it's great to see.
Honestly, there's a fantastic charity for Down syndrome through Down Syndrome Queensland called Try 21 series, and what they organise is these sort of like indoor sporting events to fundraise for Down Syndrome Queensland. As Lee Drennan looks for the.
They want it.
He liked it, but apparently Drennan did not fall over enough, or maybe fell over sufficiently.
As you said, he loved that sweep shot.
He loves it, looking for it in every shot. The Try 21 series, it raises much needed funds for the Down Syndrome Queensland organisation, and it's a really cool initiative where they get like 8 or so people with Down syndrome, and then 8 like stars of that sport to play together in like a one-off game.
Yes.
So you get like say Rob Fitzgerald, who's playing for the Northern Kings actually at the moment. He's Australia's most capped men's indoor cricketer, and he's part of that, for example. And he'll bat with someone with Down syndrome, and they'll play together and field together and bowl together, and it's a really fun night. So Shay's involved in that, and obviously loves his cricket. So big shout out to Shay.
Sounds good.
That completes the 10th over, by the way. So the power surge is now an option for the Southern Rockets if they wish to take it. The score is 2 for 48. So obviously 4.8 runs in over. Connor McInerney 19 of 22. And Captain Lee Drennan 12 of 16 with Ben O'Connell about to come into the attack.
He bowled well, Ben O'Connell, in the first game.
He did.
He was quite consistent hitting spots, which caused some havoc for the Magic batsman.
He's a wily customer. He's got well, hopefully this is not an omen for him when he bats later on. There's a duck right next to him as he's getting ready to bowl. Speaking of
Drennan.
consistency, he's consistently put that on a plate for Drennan, but
Yes.
Drennan did not catch any, only a single.
Speaking of ducks, I mean, it's been a day of wildlife fun, hasn't it?
It has been.
Tell me
Kangaroos,
about
dogs, ducks.
Joel was loving
Milan,
Yes.
11-month-old, big dog.
Yes.
Big dog.
It was all going on.
Oh man, I think Milan ate a lot of kangaroo poo, like a lot. One of the features of Ivor Marsden ovals is the kangaroo droppings you can see around the joint. As McInerney knocks that for a single and brings up the 50 for Southern Rockets, 2 for 50 into the 11th over now. So, I mean, we've been talking about the fact they've got wickets in hand, but it probably is pretty close to go time now.
Exactly right, as Drennan gets that one away, straight down the ground, leans towards long on, and it was well fielded.
Yeah, McInerney did well to get back there. And a good bit of intent from Drennan. He's obviously lofted that previous shot over to Cow just for a single, and then looking to use his feet there, gets to it on the full, gets 2 runs.
Exactly right.
He's a very busy cricketer, so he's probably not the biggest hitter. He'll be looking to find gaps and work hard.
He cuts, and that gets through the inner circle. It's fielded down there close to point. They'll get back for 2. So he likes a cut and a sweep.
Loves a cut and a sweep. And apparently getting into it on the full. which I even don't mind when I'm batting. Like a full toss,
Exactly right.
especially when I'm bowling. Actually, I'm a terrible bowler, but my full tosses often get wickets. So you know what they say about shit, it gets wickets,
That's
right?
exactly right.
Oh, Drennan goes big down to long off, but not quite big enough to be either a six or a catch, and just a single.
Just a single. Yeah, you're right. They have wickets in hand, but that only takes you so far.
Yeah.
It's McInerney. He's faced plenty of balls, and Drennan looks like he's starting to swing a little harder. McInerney on strike.
Goes big on the slog sweep and very big, and he gets 6 runs for his effort. That's a lovely shot from McInerney, and maybe they've started to press the button.
Yeah.
Is it seniors game?
And again, we have to go fetching for the ball.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gone into the next game there.
This game,
The Hornets.
pass the parcel.
I think it's the ladies' game over there. The Hornets have been nice enough to toss it back for us.
It is.
And Shah Hamal continues at the good-looking end. After seeing what I just saw from the two batters
Yes.
and their approach to O'Connell, I wonder if they'll also go after Hamal here.
Well, yeah, you're right. They have everyone back on the onside on the field, except fine leg.
It's that sweep shot, only finds short fine, so dot ball.
Yeah, you're right. They and they probably need to be honest, if they want to get serious about things.
Well,
The
let's
Rockets.
talk about that 130 scoreline, right? So if we want to get to 130, they have 70
Ooh.
runs to go
Yes,
off the next 50 odd deliveries, so that's quite doable with wickets in the shed.
very doable.
But I think they'll want a bit more than 130.
You would imagine so, but with Drennan out there at the moment and
And McInerney, of course, yeah.
you back him in.
Yeah.
You back him in. I mean, a wicket will, create a bit of confusion and cause a bit of mayhem in that middle order. But with these two at the crease, they can.
Oh, he's gone a big shot there. It will drop safe and just a single. There are a couple of fielders back on the leg side for both of these batters now. Looks like McInerney also likes to get down on one knee, but he likes to employ a bit more power.
Yes, likes to hit into skyward.
Yes, attempting orbit. Only getting a single on that occasion. As Lee Drennan faces up and just flat bats it over the bowler's head. McInerney turns, and because he turned and ran so hard the first time, that slight fumble from Aspen provides a second run. So it's good cricket for any kids that are watching at home. The flat bat wasn't particularly technical, but the running between wickets was.
Exactly right. Again, just knocked down to long off. Aspirin will field it once again.
So a bit more intent this over now from the Rockets after the bounty of the last over. We keep talking about wickets in the shed, and it's good to have them, but they're not worth anything after the 20th over.
No.
So you do want to make sure that you use every available resource that you have if you need to.
Exactly right.
And they are now starting to lose their shape a little bit, which is obviously a sign of trying to up the ante.
That's right.
Yeah.
And look, it's a matter of if they get one or two away, and then they can really, go on from that. But it's just that's the hard part is getting into that rhythm and the bowlers so far. I mean, you've got to give them credit where credit's due. They've been bowling to the field and creating quite difficult for the batsmen to get much away.
So for the Rockets, they're still going at less than a run a ball. It's 2 for 67 after 12 overs. At the current run rate, you'd be looking at a score of about 112. You'd expect that they will up that run rate.
Yes.
But they're going to have to up it significantly if they want to get a competitive total. we've had another change of the bowling here. Conor McInerney again getting on one knee, can't quite pick the gap. It looks like number 12 for the Coastal Marlins. I'll get a name for you in just a moment there, Josh. Cummins coming into bowl, not Patrick.
No.
As McInerney puts him over Cow there. Gets down on one knee again, and that is four runs.
That's a bit better.
Absolutely.
That is a bit better. Roughs the ball up a bit too, heading down that bush.
Yeah, it's a bit of a minefield down there, isn't it?
Mind you, it's got aspects of the backyard cricket landscape, doesn't it?
A little bit. It's a bit nostalgic.
Yeah. You know, you hit it over the fence, or you gotta go find it, put it into the trees, you gotta go climb the tree to get it out.
No, you're making me miss my backyard. This is Dan Cummins. He's bowling. He's from the Sunshine Coast Scorchers, 22 years old. Good luck to him. He's playing against a couple of very, very talented batters here, including Conor McInerney, who's just put him over Cow.
They haven't quite nullified that. They've kept the field the same. They do have long on back and deep mid wicket, and that's where he goes long on.
Oh, it's put down. My goodness, that's disappointing for the young man. Wasn't a great ball.
No, it wasn't.
To be fair, didn't deserve a wicket necessarily, but McInerney picked out O'Connell and just not able to take the catch.
Floated down, exactly right.
Well, a life for McInerney, and he decides he's going to cash in with another 6.
Well, that's right. He took it on just before and just got lucky. But this time, well, he didn't make any mistake on that delivery. Straight over the road.
I feel sorry for Dan Cummins in that particular circumstance. He's gone none for 12 off this over, as far as I can remember, and it's 4-2 off a drop catch.
Yep.
And then 6 to rub salt into the wound. He's gone again. I think McInerney's decided that life that he's been given, he's going to absolutely just hoe it until he gets out.
That's right.
He needs a new blade,
Needs
apparently.
a new bat too.
It's like, I've used up the middle in this one. Brings Lee Drennan to the strike against Dan Cummins, coming around the wicket to the right-hander. Oh, he also goes the slog sweep. He has found the gap, and that will be 4.
4 more runs.
It's a very expensive over for Dan Cummins, I'm afraid. And that run rate we were talking about, well, it puts the Southern Rockets above a run a ball for the very first time in this innings.
That's what they need. They need to get that run rate up, which they have. And as we were saying before, with Drennan and McInerney at the crease, you know, and like well, they've got 1 away, they've got 2 away, 6 here, 4 there. They can start to slowly increase that. And it helps when you when you both go off the same bowler. Not that it's much fun if you are the bowler, but you work in partnerships, build that chemistry in the middle, and hopefully push this run rate higher and get this innings on a good roll on.
Score is now 2 for 84 after 13. I was just thinking, now that they've had a bit of success for a couple of hours, I wondered if the power surge went through their brain, but I guess McInerney's just called for a new blade. Maybe he wants to have a little look at it before he starts hitting bombs.
That's exactly right. Yeah, power surge, not a bad shout there, you'd think.
Oh, O'Connell has swapped ends here. He's just put down McInerney, so he'd love nothing more than to exact some redemption, I suppose, with the word. Special guest commentary from the Ducks on the field. Quacking occasionally, you might hear. That's not me, that's the duck. I swear.
They probably want some pizza.
They probably do. I've got some left over. Oh, that looks big, but it's very high. Will it carry? It looks like it will.
Yes, it does.
A good effort from Shah Hamal on the boundary there, but he had nowhere to go, and it did indeed go for 6.
6 runs.
Connor McInerney really starting to find his feet.
Here we go.
Now.
This is right. This is right. McInerney on the onside. That's where all his boundaries have come from. And that one right over Long On's head. Any shorter, he would have been out.
Didn't even worry about having the fielder there. That new bat's fine.
They're going to push for 2. And they'll get there.
Oh, direct hit might have been
Direct
interesting.
hit would have been very interesting. We've seen one of them today.
We have. That's been a good standard of fielding actually from the participants of the BPL, the inaugural BPL. Josh, this is your first day here. You had your debut this morning, and
Yes.
this is your second game. How are you liking it? You liking the vibe of the place?
I've got to say, I love it. You've got, coaching clinics going on just over here in the nets, and then you've got, plenty of games happening. You've got, that's a swing and a miss. You've got plenty of games happening. You've got under 19s and juniors and seniors, and all the fields are being played on. You've got music blaring. It's a good atmosphere, I've got to say.
And importantly, 8 out of 10 pizza trucks.
That's right. The food is immaculate around here. So,
Oh, he goes again. This one is much bigger. Much bigger. That almost landed on the other field on the full.
That is 6.
Connor McInerney. He's hit a 6 again. And I think that has just brought up his 50. It has. He was on 49, so 55 off 36 deliveries now for Connor McInerney. Really has put the foot down. Lee Drennan supporting well, 25 off 25. This partnership has moved the score to 2 for 98. They came together at 2 for 23. So it's a 75-run partnership.
And also, speaking about the atmosphere, I mean, it's been great, but it's even better when you got, storylines like Josh Brown, who apparently went ballistic this morning, and then you've got Edwards this morning also. He did
Brenton
his thing.
Edwards, wow.
And he did it with the ball too, and now you got McInerney in the third game on field 3, and he's pulling out some very nice highlights.
Delivering the goods, and he probably... Oh, he's gone the bumper there, O'Connell, and that has not gone well at all.
No. That's 6 runs.
He's cracked it into... I think he saw it coming, and he's cracked it into the gazebo over there. On the roof of it at least, so hopefully the ball's in decent condition. Another 6 runs.
Back to back.
Takes McInerney to 61 after that third 6 of the over. O'Connell will not be happy with himself. He was the one that put down that catch too.
Yes.
Not to rub it in. And I tell you what, there is probably enough time here that if McInerney...
You're thinking 100.
I'm thinking, yeah, we could see the
I'd
second...
love to see it. That'd be great. That'd be what a way to top off the day.
It'd be beautiful, yeah, absolutely. I didn't get to see Josh Brown's... I saw the highlights, of course,
Yes.
on the Facebook. Who could miss those? They were fantastic. And a big shout out to everyone that puts together those little packages for the online viewers. But yeah, he was incredible slice of hitting. We've seen some good hitting today from the likes of, as you mentioned, Brenton Edwards and Josh Matthews as well.
Matthews, yes, of course.
And yeah, Connor McInerney now joins them for just bleeding 6s. Slower ball from Summerfield who's come back into the attack. Drennan, that trusty cut shot, moved his score to 26 off 26. I forgot to mention that it was Southern Rockets had brought up their 100 now, so they're 2 for 105 after 14.1 overs. So, and still no power surge.
No. You'd be thinking they'd be getting close.
It'd have to be. Like that new bat for McInerney is working a treat.
Yes.
Although Summerfield in here is quite tricky. He's just doubled his runs conceded for the match.
Ooh, leading edge. Full's safe. It's just, they'll take the single. See, that's the risk. That's the risk. You try and play too smart with the power surge, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on the back foot once again.
Although I tell you what, if they had taken the power surge, there's an extra fielder there.
Yes.
He's probably out.
That's true. That's very true too.
Summerfield into Drennan, full toss. I think he saw Drennan coming a little bit, so just basically just went straight for his body. And a single taken by Drennan. Getting some decent coaching on the
Yes.
side here as well. Yeah, it's a pretty well attended coaching clinic. I saw a bunch of kids there, like maybe 3 or 4 dozen of them. Yeah, and they're all free. Put on by the BPL. As McInerney lofts one just a mid off for a single.
As I think Joel was saying, he may have some future BPL players in those nets over there learning their craft as we speak.
I promise you we do.
Yes.
Yeah, there would be some absolute guns of the future out there. And guns of the present.
Yes.
Drennan and Summerfield square horns once again.
Ooh,
And Drennan goes bang, straight over his head.
that's 4.
Has the power surge been taken? I'm just wondering, because I can only see 2 fielders out. Maybe they have taken it. And we just missed it.
They have.
There you go. So the power surge has been taken.
It's been a long day, Bo, for you, especially.
Yeah, I mean,
How many hours? It would be getting up to
yeah, well, we were
5
here.
plus.
We were here at 7 this morning.
Yes.
So yeah. No, they have taken the power play. There you go, and that's good power play batting from Drennan. There's no fielder over the bowler's head.
No.
That is 4 runs every day. It probably would have been 4 runs regardless of the power play, frankly. He's gone again.
There's 4 more. Oh no, it's not.
No.
Gee, it looked a lot better off the bat than what it turned out to be.
I thought the kangaroos that were hopping past there
We're
might
going
have
to be
been
in trouble.
Might have been in with the game. They might have. Can you imagine if they kept it off the rope?
Oh wow.
But no, just a single. So Lee Drennan keeps the strike, and Southern Rockets, they still have those wickets in hand, so you can see that they're really, really upping their run right now.
It looks like it is the end of the power surge too. As all the men will once again retreat to the boundary. Not all of them, obviously, but the majority of the onside, long on, deep mid wicket.
Oh, that means that O'Connell's over was previously one too. There you go. That's why we missed it at the start of Summerfield's over.
Yes.
It didn't exist. Summerfield's figures have taken a real hit here. He's gone 3 overs, 1 for 10. Just terrible. I kid, of course. 9 runs off that over. Still fantastic figures.
Yeah, that is very good bowling.
No, this is still the power surge. It's still just the 2 out. As Lee Drennan off the back foot takes a single.
No, you're right. That is yes, 100%.
So Lloyd Aspen is bowling the 2nd over of the power surge. Wow, we've had a bit of a barrier there. He must have just completely missed the signal. So for the left-hander, they got a deep square leg, and it looks like they're going to send long on back as well.
Right.
That's probably not a bad idea. The way McInerney's hitting the ball has been a bit of a hot spot for him. Loves a leg side shot, doesn't he? You pointed out that I don't think he has hit an offside boundary.
No. If he gets a hold of it, he proved it before. If he gets a hold of it, 6 runs is well and truly on the cards.
Absolutely. Oh,
And there's his first boundary on the offside.
look at us go.
Oh yeah.
That's a lovely shot, though, isn't it? That was a little bit of finesse there. Like I think everyone watching this game, watching what Conor McInerney's done the last maybe 4 or 5 overs, we were thinking it's going to be back here somewhere.
Exactly. That's where I was looking.
But he's just finessed it down backward a point for 4 runs. Lovely shot.
It was a very good shot. Very good shot. Where's he tracking now?
Oh.
McInerney. Do we have a...
I would be hoping that he's not thinking too far ahead. I'm hoping that he's just thinking see ball, hit ball.
Yes.
And a slow ball there from Aspen, and McInerney adjusts.
And you're right, good sign there. He's played a nice shot, gone for 4, and he's got the composure to back it up with just a nice defensive block.
So the score is now 2 for 119. So they're going to sail well and truly past that 130 mark we were talking about earlier. Now you'd be thinking with 27 balls left, it's only 31 runs to 150.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be going well past that with this many wickets in hand. They're actually setting themselves up quite nicely despite that really slow start.
That's exactly right. As Aspen comes in, and it's dispatched by Drennan.
Heading straight towards some spectators who were caught unawares. But 4 runs to lead Drennan.
4 runs.
That's a good shot. Again, he likes to hit straight, obviously, doesn't he?
Yes.
Against the pace bowlers, and as we said, very rarely a fielder back there. This might be before your time, Josh. You used to play Super International Cricket on the Super Nintendo way back in the 90s. And I used to always put a fielder back there for this exact reason.
There we go.
Because I was 7, an idiot. but it worked.
Exactly, and then there's another 4 from Drennan.
Yeah, like, I tell you what, if they applied the Bo Nicholson Super Nintendo tactic, they may well have had a wicket. But alas, no one is that silly.
Yeah, well.
We'll talk to Zach Kuhn.
Yes.
He's gone upstairs there, Aspen. I feel like he doesn't want to give Lee Drennan any more opportunities for lofted drives. And just a single taken.
That's the end of the over.
Yeah, the score is racing now. We're up to 2 for 128 with 4 overs remaining. So 150 would actually be not a great result from here.
Yes.
Frankly, like with Lee Drennan set on 42 not out off 33, and Connor McInerney on 68 off 41. You'd have to say they really should be pushing in that 160, 170 vicinity. You'd want to get maybe at least 10 runs and over from here. 40 makes it 168.
Yes. Well, that was always the school of thought. If these two stay at the crease, build into their work, which they have done, got a couple of shots away, which they have done, and they're ticking all the boxes, and they've set the foundation, as we speak of, and they'll be looking to obviously take it deep, both of them.
Yes. They have got some hitting power in the sheds as well. So, we saw Jack Hargreaves in the previous game, 19 off 10. Did really well. Sam Neill can certainly hit a bomb. I've seen him do that.
As Drennan goes, and it's down towards long off. One bounce.
Looks like the bowler there is Charith, the slow left armer. We saw him bowl an absolute peach in the previous match, squaring up one of the right-handers, taking his off stump. A perfect,
very good delivery,
orthodox delivery. Something you would often see from someone like Daniel Vittori, which is high praise. I have been called Daniel Vittori before, not because of my cricketing talent, but because I wear glasses.
I can
kind of see
I can somewhat see it. Yes. Yeah. You said throw in the Kiwi accent.
I won't even try.
I'm not gonna ask you to.
I'm not going there.
I'm not gonna ask you to, though.
Thank you, I appreciate that. McInerney just squeezes that one for a single down to fine leg. Corey Hunter does the fielding. Moves the score to 2 for 130, so they have ticked that box. Next box is 140. They may well get there by the end of the over, all things going well for the Rockets, as he almost takes the umpire out. O'Connell gets across and does the work.
Very good evasion skills by the umpire there.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's a new trailer out for the new Matrix movie, and I wonder if he's got a job. Just dodging bullets.
Yes.
He's gone the reverse, Drennan. He has not beaten Corey Hunter at sort of like a short third man, so just a single.
It's in vogue at the moment, the reverse sweep. Seen a few today.
I rate it.
Yeah.
In this format, particularly. I was never really a fan until I saw Usman Khawaja score a massive century in the UAE against Pakistan. And I think he deployed the reverse sweep very well against Yasir Shah. As Connor McInerney goes big again, he's picked the gap. It's not going to be a boundary.
No.
One bounce to the fielder and just the 2.
So the reverse sweep, Glenn Maxwell and the reverse sweep just go hand in hand, and gee, he can hit a ball.
Glenn Maxwell and just about anything weird.
Oh, wow.
Like, he does everything weird. Do you remember that? As McInerney loads up, goes over mid-wicket, and that will be 4 runs. Good shot from McInerney. Do you remember that shot that Maxwell played? He was, I think he was trying to play a pull shot, and ended up being like a no-look cut shot.
Yes. I do remember that. He's played some very awkward shots, Glenn Maxwell, but a great. He's another one. He can bowl, bat, and field. Glenn Maxwell very well.
A bit like Connor McInerney.
Yes.
Bats, bowls, and fields, and at the moment there's nothing awkward about what he's doing.
No.
75 or 44 as they go and fetch that delivery. That will be the end of that over. So 2 for 139. They've got 3 overs left, and assuming, as we said, to try and aim at 10 runs and over, they've got 11 in that one.
Yes.
If they try and get the 10 runs and over, they're heading towards that 170 mark.
That'll be that is what we think is definitely defendable.
Certainly defendable, yeah. We saw that the Southern Rockets almost defended 144 against the Darling Dingoes.
Yes.
And Darling Dingoes have a quality batting side, so I would say that something in the 170 range would be absolutely defendable. Let's look at Chris Glass. I haven't seen him bowl yet this series, so I'm as curious as anybody is about how Chris is going to go. He's been batting really well for the Coastal Marlins. Usually opens the batting. Looks like he's going to bowl some meds. Short meds at Drennan. And he pumps it to long on just for a single.
With finals obviously on the horizon, Bo, how important is it to get that confidence for all teams in the competition in this last round, to get that confidence to try and push forward and press their case for a championship?
I suppose it depends on which team they are. So, like, to use an NRL analogy, we have the Storm and the Panthers, which is like the Morton Magic.
Yes.
And we have the Northern Kings. They're the two standout teams.
Yep.
As McInerney goes large.
That's a standout shot.
He's almost hit that roof again. This time I think it's gone over the fence.
Yes.
So that's into the RAF base.
It's on the runway there, Bo. He's head onto the runway.
Hopefully he doesn't derail any planes or anything. That'll be terrible. I assume those fighter jets are well equipped to handle a cricket ball though. It looks like Zach Keen's not even going to attempt to go and get it. There's barbed wire fence.
That was a good shot too.
Oh, very good shot.
Very good shot.
Moves Connor McInerney. I'm just on 100 watch.
Yes.
He's 81 of 45, so he needs 19 runs in the next 16 deliveries. If he gets a lion's share of the strike,
oh yeah, it could be on here.
Could be on. But yeah, to answer your question, I think the Morton Magic and Northern Kings, for them it's about managing their players through it, getting some game time into the players that haven't had much.
Yep.
They've been so successful. Like a lot of the batters down at number 7 or 8 haven't had much time in the middle.
Yep.
So you want to get some runs into them. As Glass comes into McInerney, who goes big again. Will it go for 6?
That's 6, Bo. Don't even doubt it.
Oh, you're right. You're dead right. It heads straight towards the children. But they are safe.
Yeah, they are safe, but they just watched a great shot. They're watching a great innings.
Yeah, absolutely. 87 runs now. He's definitely closing on that 100. Let's get excited.
This is, yeah.
Coastal Marlins are a chance in this competition. They'd be like a Rabbitohs or a Sea Eagles. They have on their day, they could definitely get the job done. As Glass bowls again to McInerney.
That's 6 more.
He's hitting another 6. My goodness gracious, that's 3 in a row.
McInerney.
Bloody Gary Sobers over here.
Oh, wow.
He's moved into the 90s. He's on 93 of 47 deliveries, so he's almost striking at 200.
This is great batting, Edwards-esque, as some would say, from this morning.
Edwards-esque. If Edwards stuck around a bit longer, he would be in this sort of territory. And don't underestimate what Lee Drennan has done here. The composure to get 47 or 37.
That's exactly right.
Less flashy, definitely, but vital that McInerney feels confident in his batting partner.
Every Batman needs their Robin.
That's true. Oh, he's gone for it. It probably won't be a boundary. Hamal gets it. Lee Drennan comes back for 2. I think that puts Connor on 99.
This is it.
No, sorry, 95. My apologies. My apologies. I got ahead of myself. I assumed there was a 4-6.
Well, he can do it in a shot.
And he's going to try. It's gone up. Hamal coming in. It's safe.
Yes, it is.
And Drennan comes back for 2 and makes it.
97.
97, and that's the end of the over. Expensive one for the Coastal Marlins. The experiment of using the medium pacer has not worked. And the score rockets, if you will, to 2 for 162.
These boys have done a fantastic job. You look at, immediately after the power play, and you're probably thinking it's going to take an enormous effort, which it has, but these boys have delivered it.
Yeah. every once in a while there is that, that 10% innings, like that one that happens at 1 every 10 times.
Yes.
And it's maybe even less than that. And this has been Connor McInerney today, who took his time. If memory serves, he was about 19 off 20. Look at him now. He's 97 off 49. So that means that he scored about 80 runs in 20 deliveries, or 30 deliveries rather. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
We've got Ben O'Connell coming back into the attack. So 2 overs left. They are 162.
And Drennan on strike.
He's looking for a 50 himself, Lee Drennan. That moves him to 48 if they just take a single there, which they do.
They do, and now it's to the big man, McInerney.
On 97 or 49, can he do it? Can he get the 150 balls?
Has there been 100 today? I don't believe so.
Not today.
Not today.
This would only be the second 100 in the BPL, which is a tournament that I'd love to see continue after this edition of it. It's been so much fun, and he won't get the first. That was Josh Brown from the Northern Kings, but he may well get the second.
Here we go. He's on strike. What have they done with the field? All men on the onside back. All men on the offside up.
Except for long off. And yeah, he's just sensibly just taking a 1. It's like they understand that maybe there is a century on the offing here, and they want to try and, obviously they want to minimise the damage to the total anyway, but can they try and stop him from getting that 100? Oh, Drennan almost beaten in the flight there. It picks the gap. He will get at least 2 here, which brings up his 50.
No, just going to go for 3, yes. That's a good innings, a good knock from Drennan, as you said. Played the support role to McInerney, but it's fantastic to see him notch up a milestone as they close in on a pretty big total.
2 for 166 as we speak, with an over and a half left. Oh, he's gone big, and it's gone up, and Corey Hunter takes the catch. So McInerney will be on strike on 98. Lee Drennan out for 50 of 40 deliveries. Ben O'Connell gets some redemption for some expensive figures, but he's not alone.
No, not at all.
He's not on an island. It's been fairly shared around, and a pretty simple catch there for Corey Hunter, and as you rightly say, a darn good innings from Lee Drennan.
Yes, no, fantastic knock from the wicket keeper for the Rockets, and yeah, it sets it up nicely here. If McInerney can hold strike for the majority of these deliveries, and hopefully notch up, it's interesting if he gets that century early on, the pressure's off, and he can just release, as much power as he can.
He could get 120. like if that happens, like anything could happen. Not anything. He's not going to get a double 100.
No.
But 120 could be on the cards here. So the score is 3 for 166. There's 2 balls remaining in this over from Ben O'Connell. Connor McInerney is on strike. He's got 98 not out off 50 deliveries. Everyone back on the leg side. He darts it in. Has he found the space? He has!
He's got the 100.
A brilliant knock from Connor McInerney, the former South Australia representative, and I'm sure he'd love to get back there. He's scored 102 so far of 51 deliveries, getting his team to 3 for 170.
The second 100 in the BPL.
BPL,
BPL.
yes.
Josh Brown first, Connor McInerney second. That's a fantastic knock, and a good way to bring it up. Just getting it fine, gone for 4 runs as he gets back on strike.
Tell you what, you'd love a boundary, and he
There's
has
4
found
more.
it. Oh, I was half thinking maybe he just mows the strike, but never mind. When you can hit boundaries, why wouldn't you? And he's absolutely picked the teeth out of that.
Well, this is what we alluded to earlier. If he gets that 100 early, all the pressure's off. He can just stand there and deliver as much power as possible.
Indeed. Now, I'm trying to work out who the other batter is at this stage. I believe it might be. I don't think it is Sam Neill. It's a different number to usual. So I'm just going to have to wait and see on that one. I'll get confirmation in a moment. As it looks like Summerfield is going to bowl the final over. He's got 1 for 10 of his 3 overs. He has been he has been on an island.
Yeah.
Everybody else has copped a little bit of tap, except for Hamal actually. Hamal, none for 19 off his 4, and Charith, none for 20 off his 3. So the spinner's doing a good job in the middle there.
Yes.
Summerfield did a great job up top for the Coastal Marlins, and can he do a job here?
Ooh. That's a good start.
It's a dot ball. That's not Sam Neill batting. That's McDonald, of course. A bit of a big, beefy hitter, McDonald. Doesn't mind to lay into one, and he definitely tried on that one. Field is pretty evenly spread around. He's gone big. Long off, didn't even see it, but it's 4
runs.
Straight at the black sight screen there, and it rolls back onto the field for 1 bounce. That's not bad on your first bit of contact with the ball.
How are we tracking? What are they at?
They're at 178, 3 for 178. So they'll be looking at mid 180s here, you would have thought. I mean, Summerfield's bowling tremendously. So that'll be tough. Oh, he got that one.
Yes!
That's another 6.
Another 6. These Rockets, they are rocketing to a big score.
They are.
Though they started off very slow, but they've got off the ground and they have just launched.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Like they were literally 2 for 48 after 10 overs. And now they're 3 for 184 less than 10 overs later.
Exactly.
Dot ball.
Ball.
Interesting strategy to leave it. I would have just thrown their hands at it anyway.
They haven't taken too many there hasn't been they haven't created many opportunities for the Marlins to take.
No, that's right. There was that one drop
Yes.
catch, and that will bite them on the bum.
That
I
will.
think. They're going to have to dead set score about 190 here to win this game. As Summerfield comes in, that's an excellent piece of death bowling. I feel sorry for Summerfield. His stats have blown up to 1 for 20. He was like 1 for 1 after 2 overs.
Yes.
It's exceptional.
Exactly. Especially with the form of Drennan and McInerney at the crease.
Yeah, well, they eventually got him in the end, somewhat, and so did McDonald, as it turns out. He's chopped that one. It means that they're going to take 2, so McInerney won't see any more strike. It all comes down to McDonald. McInerney's done his job. They're going to take 3. Oh,
and they're going to get there too.
That's not great fielding there, to be honest. That ball was sitting next to him on a misfield.
Yes.
Oh, that was the final delivery. So that was
the end of it.
That was 3 runs taken on the last ball. A good bit of awareness from the Southern Rockets, and it means that the score becomes 3 for 187. Josh, that's quite the effort. Connor McInerney 106 not out. Lee Drennan 50. The 2 stars of the show.
Yes, it was a fantastic innings by those two, and as we said, they got off to a slow start. Power play not that promising, but they really launched into their work, and they've given themselves a very, very defendable total.
And we will see if they will be able to defend it. 3 for 187 for the Southern Rockets. Can the Coastal Marlins hit 188 to pull off quite an excellent, miraculous victory? Back soon to find out. Welcome back to this round 3 Brisbane Premier League fixture between the Coastal Marlins and the Southern Rockets. And if you are just joining us, you have just missed Connor McInerney hitting 106 not out of 52 deliveries to put the Southern Rockets at 3 for 187. Josh is joining me here. My name's Bo Nicholson. Josh, they were 2 for 48 after 10 overs, and they hit 139 runs off the next 10 overs to get to 187. That's incredible stuff.
It was crazy stuff, Bo, as we see the first delivery of the innings, and it's waved away straight away.
Looks like Ward opening the bowling here for the Southern Rockets. He hasn't had much of a bowl recently, so he should be relatively fresh, the big fella.
And Glass a bit frustrated with the way he handled that delivery.
I think you're right. Looks like Summerfield's opening with him too, which is a bit different, but obviously pretty confident after his bowling effort.
Yes. No, but back to your point, it was remarkable, seriously, and Drennan alongside him, who he cameoed with a half century. As we see the next ball come in.
Looks like not a wide.
Not a wide, won't be called.
Must have been close enough to the leg stump to negate it.
But yeah, Drennan, fantastic, cameo, and of course McInerney. I mean, he just hit him all over the place and got a hold of a lot of them. And there was a period there where you're thinking, oh, he's probably 100's a bit too hard to ask, but he did it with it over left. So, yeah, it was fantastic batting all round.
A real joy to watch as Summerfield loads up on a shortish delivery outside the off stump and has put it away for 4. A bit of fielding from a spectator out there. Looked a bit cumbersome coming down that hill trying to get to the ball. Gladly he hasn't gone arse over, and 4 runs is the result for Adam Summerfield, who it looks like they've just put him up the top of the order maybe to get some runs into him, but he also is the kind of guy that's quite dynamic and needing about 9.5 runs and over. A fast start is pretty important here for the Coastal Marlins.
Oh, that's tricked everyone, and
just gets grazed his leg, and they'll get a couple of runs there.
Yeah. No, you're right, and they're going to need a fast start too. The Marlins, because the Rockets they definitely didn't get one, but they maintained a positive attitude and kept their upward trajectory the whole innings. So it's important that they get on top of things early here, the Marlins.
139 runs in 10 overs. Like, can you believe that? That's 14 runs and over just about.
Oh man.
Sustained hitting and only 1 wicket lost.
You know, the highlights package, you'd sit there and you'd have to probably leave some in.
You have to.
Because seriously, if you want a minute clip or a minute and a half, you're not getting that with some of the shots we saw.
Yeah, that's right. If they want to do their little social media, they call it a sizzle, I think.
Social sizzle.
Yeah.
Right.
Like have a little sizzle, minute and a half. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
Barbecue.
It was a full-blown smorgasbord.
That's exactly right.
As he tries quite a dainty little shot there, a dot ball again. So a pretty good over, really, in the context of the game for the Southern Rockets. None for. Oh, let me just update the scorecard. It's taking a beat to update for us. I'll come back to that in a moment.
It's interesting. Both teams, coming off losses today, and facing each other now. So, a win here will do them, the world of good, obviously, and be good to end their day on a good note.
And give each team the best possible chance of making finals.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, a bonus point is probably out of reach for the Coastal Marlins. They would need to.
If they did get the bonus point,
they need to win. They need to hit 188 in 16 overs. So we're looking at Chris Glass to hit 1,000 very quickly. Which he's a talented cricketer. So who knows?
Yes. And he's on strike now.
Certainly is. Just the scorecard has died on me, so could be back to maths, Bo. Yeah,
I like that, Bo.
Yeah, well, it's like
it's a bit chaotic, but it's good,
mate. It's stressful. The brain starts. You know that scene in The Hangover where Zach Galifianakis' character is doing all those numbers, and it's just like that's me. Like I'm struggling. Summerfield sweeps that. Looked like a full toss there, and sweeps it away confidently for 4. Yeah, this is a good start for him. A couple of boundaries. That's what he's been sent out there to do. He's an all-rounder. Not really known generally as an opening bat, but certainly proving capable at this stage.
Yes. And a partnership, as we've seen throughout the day, it's very, and as you know, the general laws of cricket really circulate. A partnership's very vital, and if you can get a partnership and sustain it, you've given yourself the best opportunity to push forward and chase a total.
Yeah, they don't have to get ridiculous at the start of this innings because they can make up runs later. But as there's a misfield, and that will also go for 4. A nice little, maybe like a none for 30 or low 30s, but with no more than 1 wicket lost, that wouldn't be such a bad power play, don't you think?
Yes, agreed. And they had a very good power play in their first game of the day. If you cast your minds back to that against the Magic, with the Marlins.
They did. Just trying to get an updated score sheet. It's not working out for me, so that's fun. So I will go and source out an updated score so I can do my maths if I need to. Flying blind at the moment, folks. That's a leg side, well taken by Lee Drennan. A very fine glove person.
Ooh, that's a good shot.
And you got all of it?
Oh, the attack in the deep.
It's gone down at 6.
It's 6 runs.
He may have been up against it, the fielder there.
Yes, Summerfield, he got all of it. Wasn't just enough. It was just enough in the end, but it was an acrobatic effort by the fielder down a long on. And McInerney has been hit for 6 as he'll back up here again, and it is well bowled. That's a dot ball, and that's the end of the over. I'm not sure how you're travelling there, Bo.
I'm not travelling. I can't. I'm trying my best. I'll see if I can bring up a relevant score sheet. It looks like it's also frozen on the telecast, so people at home can see that it's none for 5 on the telecast. The true score is probably more in line with none for maybe 20, just about, after that 6. About none for 20 off the 2 overs. But obviously we hope that we can get an updated scorecard shortly. I would suggest that my cricket has gone down once again, which is fun.
Just a shout out also to the Magic scorer.
Yes.
Who was helping us out dramatically
Magic
in the first
indeed.
game. Yes, that was Magic. So, shout out to him. But, well, Bowie, it's all up to you really. But I believe in you, mate.
I'll do my best. Sam Neill continuing here, or starting rather. He didn't bowl the first over, so he's in to bowl the third over.
What are your thoughts on that? If you're a bowler, do you like to get your overs all in a row, or do you prefer to have them spread out, or is it depending on the individual?
I suppose it would depend on the individual, wouldn't it? I'm not a bowler. I would not much of a batter either. As Neil comes back in, hits glass on the body, and they'll take a single and leg byes there. I would have thought it would mess with your rhythm, but in much the same way that it messes, he's given that runs, very generous. In much the same way that it messes with the rhythm of the bowler, it would also mess with the rhythm of the batter. They don't get set against a particular person, and it makes the kind of hitting that McInerney managed even more difficult.
Yep.
So for the good of the team, if I was the bowler, I would be happy with being changed.
Yes.
But that's coming from an old batter keeper.
That's a good defensive shot.
We have a very kind spectator here who has just updated us. The score is none for 23, and thank you very much for that.
Yes.
In the third over, so I'm gonna do my little chicken scratches here for you, Josh, so we can keep track of that. Neil, he's dug that one out pretty well there, Summerfield. That's good bowling from the young Sam Neil. He's only about 19 years old, from the Norths Club.
Right.
And he has played Queensland under 19s. Bit of a bowling all rounder probably.
Yep.
As you can see, quite a stocky gent.
Yes.
Hits the deck hard, bustles in.
Yes, a lot of effort in his
Oh, dear me.
He's copped one there, hasn't he?
Geez, he'd want to be wearing a box maybe. That was almost straight at the tackle.
Well, it was struck well by Summerfield, and he was just in the way there. Couldn't do much about it, to be honest.
He did get in the way, did well,
Yeah.
and a dot ball the results.
Saved 4 runs, that's for sure.
So just a reminder that the live scorecard has gone down. The score is actually none for 23 in the third over with Sam Neill bowling to Adam Summerfield, and he defends away for a dot. It's a very fine over from the young man, considering the amount of runs that were being piled on
Yes.
previous. So none for 23 after 3. As we said, you know, obviously they'll take as many runs as they can get in the power play, but none for 30 wouldn't be so bad.
No, not at all. None for 30 would be, you'd be happy with that. You'd walk away with that quite pleased, and you can definitely, you know, build your innings off it.
And just a reminder that the Southern Rockets hit 3 for 187 with a sparkling century from an unbeaten century from Connor McInerney. So the Coastal Marlins must score 188 off their 20 over allotment. They're 23 runs on the way there after their 3 overs. So they're probably a little bit behind the run rate, but as we saw with the Southern Rockets, that's less important if you have confidence in your hitting at the end.
Exactly right. And what can I toss up here?
This might be Lachlan Honan.
This Glass gets it fine, and it should make 4 runs at will.
It almost came to me, just about. Yeah, 4 runs the score, added to the score. That is Lachlan Honan bowling, by the way. So that moves the score to 27.
I must say, that was a fair effort from Drennan. Just couldn't get there in the end, but
He's a good keeper, Lee.
yeah.
If only he was a little bit taller. Well, a lot of good keepers are a bit shorter,
Matthew
aren't they?
Wade,
Yeah.
example.
Jimmy Pearson. for
Jimmy
Queensland.
Pearson, yes.
Alex Carey's not a tall man. Timmy Payne's not huge.
No.
Even Hills, we saw Hills walking around earlier.
He was over there with the kids, giving them some words of wisdom.
I'm sure he has a few.
That would have been an experience. Hey, how good's that? You know, you come down to a clinic and you've got Ian Healy.
Well, Chris Glass getting a bit inventive there, and looks like he's been wrapped maybe on the pads.
You've got Ian Healy. They're helping you out.
Yeah,
As good as it gets.
What a buzz. I mean, as the score moves to none for 28 in the 4th over, by the way, as we know, the scorecard is still frozen there. Yeah, what a buzz. Although a lot of those kids, I mean, Ian Healy retired in 1999. So, right when Adam Gilchrist was knocking on the door. Speaking of knocking on the door,
That was drilled.
yeah, Summerfield's absolutely pounded the door down there with that shot. None for 32. Still in the 4th over, still in the power play. Only the 2 fielders allowed outside the inner circle.
Well, they're over our mark, 30. So going quite nicely, the Summerfield and Glass.
So providing they don't get out, everything they get above this is just cream on top, really, isn't it?
Exactly right. That's another good shot. You played it
Lovely.
very late, and it won't be a boundary. It won't, you know, make the highlight package. But it was nice technique and come to it late and had the awareness to play it late.
Very cruisy, very nice shot, very classy. Moves the score to none for 34. Off the 4 overs, chasing 188 for victory. Oh, he's done well to keep that out. That's pretty good bowling. Gave him his stumps and he almost lost them.
That's exactly right. That's the end of the power play.
It is.
So,
None for 34, so a productive over for the Coastal Marlins, 11 off it, including leg buys, etc. That's, yeah, none for 34 power play, very strong. Almost 9 runs it over. They need 9.5 to win, give or take. So being slightly behind the 8 ball, you know, obviously you'd rather be in front of it, wouldn't you? You'd rather have a Brenton Edwards coming out here hitting 66 on 27, but I mean that's a pretty rare occurrence.
That's right.
So this would be the next best thing, as I'm getting extremely sunburned, I just realised.
Well, it is a hot day.
Yeah, I'm absolutely copping it here. This shade is doing nothing.
Great day for cricket though.
Yeah, it is a great day for cricket. It's very hot out here though. As Sam Neill looks to bowl his second over. Oh man, that's going to sting tomorrow. Yeah. My goodness. Should have brought some sunscreen. Well, slip, slop, flap, kids. Oh, is that a wicket? It's copped something on the way through. Not given. Chris Glass lives to fight another day.
Wow. Yeah, braving all the elements.
Yuck.
Bo.
Yuck. I'm struggling. I was born in Townsville, but I'm not used to this. I'm very much a Brisbane kid nowadays. 9 for 34. Sam Neill has been impressive. Bowled a very good first over, or the third over of this innings. Oh, that's a lovely shot for one.
Yes.
Fielder in the deep. Obviously, as we said, the power play has finished. So they do have 3 fielders deep on the leg side, 2 on the off, using their maximum allotment of fielders they can have outside the circle. Moves the score on to none for 35 for the Coastal Marlins.
Digs that one out, and it's well fielded by McInerney in at cover. That was got to the ground real quick, low and hard, and fielded it and got it back to the bowler nicely, stopping any runs. They did have protection in long off. Neil comes in once again and dug out once more to the onside this time. Just a single.
Remonstrates with himself there, Summerfield. I think he wanted to get under it and loft it a bit, but no dice.
No.
Moves the score along to 36 as I adopt a traditional scorer's method of crossing out runs as they're scored. Because I am going to lose track of what's happening here. Target at 188.
Ooh, back of the hand stuff from Neil. Very well bowled indeed, and another dot. It's been a good over.
Has been a very good couple of overs from Sam Neill. Doing his best to emulate his mate Adam Summerfield by just being extremely miserly. I'm not even sure if they're friends. They're probably not. They probably hate each other. Probably bitter rivals.
Yeah, exactly.
As Chris Glass gets a piece of that, but they're looking for 2, but Hargreaves.
Not gonna get it.
Look at that. Too good, Hargreaves. Moves the score on to 37 at the end of the 5th over.
See, they a lot of their shots, they've been a lot of power and a lot of grunt, but just haven't been able to find the gap, and nor they come off very cleanly.
Yeah.
The timing's just been off a tad, so if they can time some and find some gaps, well, they'll be scoring a couple of boundaries. But at the moment, the fielders, they're just hitting to the fielders and just not getting them away as well as they would like.
Run rate is currently 7.4, and so that means that obviously they're probably slipping back to about 10 runs and over required. Just above actually now. Ever so slightly, as Ryan Walker comes into the attack, a left arm wrist spinner. So a big change here. He's a bit of an exponent of the googly. Loves a Google.
Okay.
Loves a bit of a Google. So with 2 right-handed bats here, that could be a bit of a weapon of his. I saw him bowl Brandon Faber in the Darling Dingoes game. Brandon Faber's a left-handed opening bat. Got him through the gate.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Troubles Glass straight away.
Exactly.
Unlike real Glass, unbreakable at this point. Chris Glass. Don't encourage me, I told you, don't encourage me. Walker into Glass. Full. Glass loves it. And he picks the gap beautifully.
4 runs.
Hits it out towards some roos. Hopefully they can take evasive action. They don't need to, as it turns out. 4 runs. Right, thanks for reminding me. I'll cross off my numbers.
Yes.
Move the score to none for 41.
Now we need an abacus.
That would only further complicate things. Would it be even better? A calculator.
A calculator.
I should probably just use my phone, but alas.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just keeping it open in case the scorecard comes up. That's quite nicely bowled and pretty well adjusted to by Glass. I didn't think he knew much about it in terms of which way it was spinning.
No.
So he just waited. He tried to read it off the pitch, did so, and got a single. None for 42 in the 6th over. Chasing 188 for victory. Gonna have to go at about 10 runs and over from here. But wickets in hand. Summerfield jumps down on the knee. Looks like he's delicately placed it around, taking on the arm. And success.
Well run.
Yeah, very well run.
That was something they did well in their first game too, the Marlins. Running between wickets, a lot of intent, getting off the mark, running that first one hard and fast, and putting pressure on the fieldsman. And it got them some results too. So yeah, again, that's some good running.
Class cricket that. Sam Neill's got a good arm, but not able to stop the two there. Oh, Summerfield latches onto that. Is that going to be joining the RAF base? No, it's not. But that is the 50 up, the 50 partnership as well. None for 50 for the Coastal Marlins in the 6th over.
Tracking very nicely.
Yeah, suddenly the run rate was dipping, but now it's back up above 8 and over.
All things considering, if they continue along this trajectory without losing a wicket, do you think they just bite the bullet and take the power surge straight up, or
It's an interesting question.
hang on to it?
They do have some decent hitters down the order.
Matthews is a notable one.
Yeah, he hit that half century this
Yes.
morning. Aspen hit a bunch of runs last round. He was in the top 5 run scorers until today for the whole tournament. So he's definitely one that can hit a ball. And Corey Hunter, a class bat, not in the best of touch, but the kind of guy that if he does click like Connor McInerney, anything could happen. Good question. I'm not entirely sure what the answer is. I think I would probably... I'd be very tempted to take it if I had 2 guys, none for 80 odd or whatever after 10 overs.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Also, following on, who do you think decides the power play, the power surge rather?
Well,
do you think it's a batsman?
Would it be? Yeah, like they don't have like a big bash league style break after 10 overs or substitutions, as we have Josh Connolly coming into the attack. He'll bowl off spin from around the wicket. He played some ACT second 11 by the way, so he's a good cricketer. Bowling to Chris Glass here, and he's as Ward says, cagey there. He's just sorting out the batter there. Bit of a faker. I would be leaving up to the batters personally. I think the coach and the captain could certainly have some input as Glass finds the gap, and he does get 4 runs for his efforts. Wow, good shot that. They're striking to the onside beautifully at the moment, these 2 batters.
Yeah, you're right. I think that the batsmen they know where they're at. They know how the pitch is playing at that current point in time.
Yeah.
They know their feel. They've sussed out the bowlers. They've seen some change ups and whatnot. And I think you're 100% right. I think it's up to the batsman's discretion.
And all these guys are good cricketers. Like they would be smart enough to know who they're playing against. They would have some plans for particular bowlers, and they'll know who's bowled how many overs or who they've got at so far. I imagine Sam Neill, for example, will get one of those power surge overs. He's been very economical thus far. So yeah, I would be trusting the instincts of my players.
Yeah.
Summerfield sweeps behind square there. Bit of work for the fielder, and he can't get it done.
4 runs.
4 more runs to the Coastal Marlins, none for 59 in the 7th over. They're accelerating at the right time.
They most definitely are. It's been a good innings, good start. And they've continued that on. Their power play was terrific, and they've been able to carry that momentum into the following overs as We edge closer to the halfway part of the innings.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm very curious about what sort of tactics they're going to deploy for the power surge and the chase overall. As Summerfield
Another reverse sweep.
deploys some tactics of his own, beats the fielder. There could be two. No, I don't think he was awake to it at first, so he misses out on the extra run, and they move the score to none for 60 in the 7th over. Oh, Glass. He's taken a chunk of that, but he's hit it straight down the throat of the fielder, and he is out. That makes it 1 for 60.
Yes. It was he didn't get all of it, did he? He almost picked the gap, but the fielder was awake to it, coming across, took the catch nicely out in front of him, and that brings the end to a very solid Glass innings.
Very solid. Laminated glass, if you will. Josh Connolly, the bowler there, and I think that catch was taken very comfortably by Grayson Jones, I think, over in the boundary there. I could be wrong. As I said, we're operating without a live scoreboard here, so giving it our best shot. 1 for 60. That might have been the end of the 7th over. Just as the Coastal Marlins were starting to really track, they've just jagged a wicket.
Yes.
The Southern Rockets there, but still 60 runs. A good effort from Chris Glass, and they still have Summerfield there, and he's been joined by Lloyd Aspen, who missed out in today's earlier match. But take my word for it, he's a class batter, and he can certainly hit a ball.
Yes, he just has to get in there and find his feet. He's obviously got a guy at the other end who's well and truly in. So it's important he finds his groove and can just provide a cameo support and just continue what's been a great couple of overs after that power play for the Marlins.
Yeah, they're tracking pretty nice to the Marlins. Now I know that Nick Fitzpatrick, one of the owners of the Marlins, he's also the person that organises the commentary. That's why we both know Nick.
Yep.
He'll be hoping they can get on with the job. A big congratulations to Nick and the team, Nick and Joel and all those others. They've done a fantastic job as the 7th over comes to a conclusion. Score is 1 for 60. Yeah, they've done a fantastic job. This particular concept was started in South Africa, apparently.
There you go.
Nick was telling me the other day. So he jumped in commentary. Nick, well known as a monotone dude, just comes in and he's just sitting there the whole time, just talking like this the whole time. That's how he talks. And he's super manly. Like
he is, isn't he?
It made me feel very insecure. But he was talking about how it was a concept that was started in South Africa as an opportunity for non-professional cricketers, but still very talented cricketers, to mix it with juniors as well. So they had like the under 19s, 17s, 14s, whatever, 12s. And they've been doing it for about 10 years over there in South Africa, and it's sort of done really well. So I think Brisbane is the first place in Australia to adopt the same model.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell, a raging success.
Yes. See, the way it was put to me was an IPL for amateurs.
Yeah.
And it really is that concept, and it's a great concept, and everyone embraces it, which is the main thing. That's there's a lot of support, and as you said, glaring success, but everyone embraces it. Everyone wants to be a part of it, and as I said, my first day here, and it's been fantastic. So, great to be a part of.
It's great fun. It looks like Reece McDonald is into the attack here. He had speaking of cameos, he had 13 off 5 towards, or maybe it was off 6, I can't remember, but 13 runs very, very quickly at the end of the last innings, just to sort of put the icing on top of the cake. Very tall cake by the end of it.
Yes.
He's proven pretty adept at bowling the Yorker deliveries, which I saw him do against the Darling Dingoes under pretty high pressure towards the end of that match. Kept the match alive. Oh, that's an unusual shot from Adam Summerfield. I think he was a bit premeditated there.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the premeditation?
Don't love it.
Not a fan?
Yeah, don't love it. I think there's a time and a place.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not good enough to do it.
Yeah.
Myself, so I try not to. I'm straight up just trying to see the ball. A lot of the time.
You and I both.
Particularly facing a guy like McDonald, can you believe?
You and I both.
It's nice and full and well met there by Summerfield. There's a slight misfield and Aspen's away. Did he make it?
I think he did.
Yeah, well run.
So you can tell it's obviously not encouraged, the premeditation, and rightly so, because as you know, these guys will tell you, and I don't, it's just about getting out there and playing each ball on its merits.
Yeah.
However, you find some cricketers just fall into the trap a few times, and it comes off sometimes. Sometimes it does. It's very entertaining for us, of course, as that's very entertaining. That's drilled down the ground. That's 4 runs.
There's the bush end umpire again, showing his matrix skills. 4 more runs. I think he just checked his pants to make sure that he hasn't soiled them. The score moves to 67 in the 8th over.
That was fantastic evasion.
He's got some.
You got to
impressive
have it
moves.
as an umpire though.
Oh yeah, you've seen the Big Bash League umpires wearing the face masks and stuff. Like my goodness, that must be scary.
Oh yes. But it is something they generally all have in common, is that finds itself on the offside. They think about onside rather. They think about 2. They just stick with 1. They all have it, and you got to have it. But they all do. They're able to, and especially when you see guys bowling at 140 plus clicks, and guys hitting it back just as quick.
Do you reckon they teach it at umpire school? Just if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, and they just just peg balls at these dudes?
I wouldn't imagine so. It's a bit like, there's a theory that teachers may get taught how to read upside down when they, go to a student's desk.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So unless it's just experience, Bo, I don't think so. I don't think they get taught it. I wouldn't imagine.
It'd be a workplace health and safety issue, surely.
Exactly.
Just pinging balls at these dudes.
Hunger Game-esque type stuff.
And ladies. Yeah, exactly. oh, well, there's only one left.
Yeah.
You get the certificate, the rest of you can take your bruises somewhere else.
Oh, man.
So that's 1 for 68 after 8 overs. So going at about 8.5 and over, actually exactly 8.5 and over. Slightly behind the 8 ball, but with 9 wickets in hand. Ward into the attack, and he's immediately swept away by Summerfield, who does seem to like a bit of a sweep.
Not as much as
Lee Drennan.
Exactly, but yeah, no, it's a good shot. Got the result, and 4 runs, handy 4 runs, and Aspirin just sits back and admires it, really.
Yeah, he's just leaning on his bat there, just enjoying the view. I don't have any sunscreen to apply, so I'm just going to apply this jumper, despite it being very hot.
I was about to suggest that.
Yeah.
Put the jumper on.
Yeah, I think it's time.
But,
and I'll try and cop the brunt of it for you. As Summerfield winds up on Ward and misses, so dot ball.
Yeah, the sun's setting just in the not ideal position at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of just banging it straight into our eyes.
And you got the fielders out there who have to deal with, a ball launched into the air and then trying to manage their way around it and take the catch.
Particularly those fielders at cow corner at the moment.
Yes.
So on the right of your screens, they'll be having a tough time seeing the ball as Summerfield tries something a bit inventive. It's not given a wide. So a dot ball. Gee, it's hot already. This is a bad idea. This has gone catastrophically. I don't know what I'd rather.
Yeah, exactly.
The sweats or sunburn.
Yeah,
what do I do?
I mean, I think if you put up with the sweats, in the long run, your future self will thank you for it.
Probably, yeah. You're probably right about that. I'll have to get the aloe vera out regardless. As Summerfield is beaten outside the off stump. I may have seen him tracking towards him there. I wonder if this pitch is starting to play a bit more true.
I was just about to think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's been the story of the day. It's been playing a couple of tricks, too paced and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, you're right. It's seeming they're picking up a lot easier.
There's a few more runs on the offing. That's for certain. Summerfield has smacked that to long on, and a big dive from Hargreaves, I think, comes to naught, and 4 runs to Summerfield takes the score to 1 for 76. And the way that they're cheering,
And that's 50.
he's got 50. And he celebrated with a fishing tribute.
He's clubbed it onto the offside. It's going to land safe as 3 fielders surround, and they'll get back for 2. That's it's good running. Not the best shot you'll find, but he wasn't caught, so that's the main thing.
And that brings the 9th over to a conclusion. So after 9, they are 1 for 78. So tracking quite nicely in terms of run rate here, well above that 8 and over. As there looks like some confusion. Oh wait, there's been a no ball.
Oh,
So it'll be a free hit that moves the score to 79, as it were.
yes,
And that ball will be re-bowled with a free hit.
yes.
So with a free hit, for those that are unaccustomed, you can't be dismissed, except for a run out, of course. You can be run out, but aside from that, you can't be caught, you can't be bowled, can't be LBW. Technically, you can't be stumped, but if you don't make an attempt to get back, then you are run out.
Where do you reckon he's going? Where do you reckon he's looking?
Summerfield, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I'd be thinking back away, hit over offside. Oh, he
Ooh.
just clubs it straight, holds his ground, and a single
Single.
as Connolly picks it up. Moves the score along to 8. It's a pretty good result on a free hit for the Southern Rockets, frankly.
And now that's the end of the over.
That is the end of the over now. So 9 overs gone, 1 for 80. Almost scoring at 9 runs and over.
Yeah.
They're pretty much on track.
Yep. No complaints if you're in the Marlins camp. They've Summerfield has held his own and managed with his 2 partners to push this innings forward. So it's been a good display from him. And as you said, that run rate is just right where you want it to be. Just slowly progressing forward, staying consistent, not aiming to chase it or bring it down too much. And that should set them up for a good finish to their innings and really help them in this chase.
McDonald continuing to make it the 10th, or to commence the 10th over as the score moves to 81 for 1. Summerfield, a fantastic half century, honestly. It's, we've seen a couple of good ones today, from the likes of Josh Matthews earlier, who still hasn't batted for this team yet, the Coastal Marlins. Lee Drennan in this match, as Lloyd Aspen goes high in the air. Lee Drennan's called it. The man with the gloves gets the job done. Great catch by Lee Drennan, and that is the 2nd wicket to fall. It is Lloyd Aspen, gone fairly cheaply, and a fantastic catch by Lee Drennan.
Yeah, he just caught the top edge there, didn't he? Straight up in the air. Lee Drennan very awake to the fact that he's the man with the gloves. He owned it. He got there with a nice little dive to cap it off. But yeah, off he goes. Lloyd Aspen played a good little role there, supporting alongside. But that comes the end of his innings.
Yeah, I think he was probably promoted to do a bit of a pinch hitters role, and it hasn't quite worked out that way. So it looks like they're going to go with Corey Hunter, the more established of the 2 batters, to see if they can continue that momentum and build towards the total. Let's not forget that at the same time, the Southern Rockets were about 2 for 40 odd.
Yes.
And currently, the Coastal Marlins are 2 for 81 in the 10th over. So they're well ahead of, if there was some sort of worm graph of the comparative 2, you'd say the Coastal Marlins are well ahead. But of course, the Southern Rockets hit 1 for 139 in their last 10 overs. And you wouldn't bank on the Marlins doing that.
No.
but they could hit 90 odd, and that's what they're sort of aiming towards at the moment.
That's very true. As that just gets knocked to the offside. 1 run.
Pretty well played by Summerfield.
I think it's important to also note, Bo, that, and as we were speaking about earlier, off air, that these guys some of these blokes played cricket yesterday. This is their second game today, so a weekend full of action for them, and you're getting to this part of your weekend, the Sunday afternoon here, and in the second innings, anyone's going to be fatigued mentally and physically. So it's a hard one to kind of toss up as that gets put away on the offside. 4 runs. Fantastic shot.
McDonald thought, well, it's Hunter's first ball, maybe I'll float it up to him and see what he wants to do with it, and he fairly laid into that. Pretty good shot for a first ball. So he's striking at 400. That will get the job done for the Coastal Marlins if he can continue at that rate. As I'm doing my best 8 Mile impersonation, like Eminem with my hoodie up at the moment, just trying to protect myself from the sun.
You've gone from Dan Vittori to Eminem, eh?
I'd rather be Vittori, to be honest. Although I wouldn't mind Eminem's money.
No, not at all.
Just quietly.
Some of his swagger too.
He has got some swag. Yeah, he has got some swag. Although, what are you trying to say about my swag or lack thereof?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing at all.
No, good.
No.
Good, I'll fight you.
Yeah, it is interesting, and it's a tremendous effort, honestly, to be backing up after playing, cricket yesterday, cricket today. I mean, you got to love the game, and as all these boys obviously do. But
yeah,
you'd be quite burnt out.
Absolutely, yeah, you're dead right. I mean, like, heck, I'm starting to reference Eminem movies at this point. So, like, fatigue hits us all, I suppose.
I mean, but for you, it has been a long day. We must say. So
it has been a long day.
You haven't left this seat, I don't think, apart from to get your pizza.
I did get that 8 out of 10 pizza.
That's it.
And I have gone to the toilet a couple of times, so got to make sure that that need is attended to as the score rolls over to 2 for 88. That is the 10th over completed. So as far as waypoints go, they're 40 runs, literally the same amount of wickets lost, but 40 runs ahead of where the Southern Rockets were at the same time. So you'd say that the Coastal Marlins are looking okay. They have got some power in the sheds in the form of the informed Josh Matthews as well. And they do have a power surge at their disposal, which they can take. They can take at any time from this point onwards.
If you are looking at WinViz, or you're wondering which camp you'd prefer to be in, it's most definitely the Marlins.
Yeah.
Can I get a number on your WinViz?
Not hugely Marlins to me, honestly.
Okay.
Like yes, they are in front of where the Rockets were, but the Rockets had Connor McInerney doing what he did.
Very true.
Which, it's going to take more of a team effort from the Marlins. And despite the fact that they're off to a good start, they are literally 99 runs away still.
So are you somewhat sitting on the fence?
If I'm doing WinViz, I'm maybe going Marlins like 53.
Okay.
Tie 1.
You have to have that in there, though.
It has to be in there.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. And the Rockets be 46. With Lachlan Honan bowling.
Ooh.
Oh, they're not going to give him a wide, are they? No, good.
No.
Good, because that was the batter's fault.
That very much was. They haven't minded to get down on one knee and hold the bat out there and try and play backwards of the stumps.
That's the new man at the crease.
Yeah.
Corey Hunter. He's only just got out there. He just banged Reece McDonald for a 4 over mid-off, and now he's going down to ramp Honan. But that's wonderful. Look at Jack Hargreaves.
Yes.
I wish you could see that on the camera. He is just a specimen.
That was exceptional.
that was delightful.
He got off the mark quick, but then he got down real low. Real low and fast. He didn't, try and bend down or whatever. He put his body on the line, kept the ball in play, got a quick release.
Yeah, school
Textbook fielding.
It was beautiful to watch as the score moves to 91. That's more inventiveness from Hunter with that fine leg up. I think Honan's letting him know about it. Little fun fact about Jack Hargreaves, the guy that just did that perfect fielding, he's in the police academy at the moment.
Wow.
Not only will he be arresting bad people, but he's arresting my heart at the moment. It's just...
Is this a line from one of Eminem's songs or something?
No.
Is Eminem coming out?
No. Eminem would be more vulgar, that's for sure.
That is true, yeah.
And, I'll leave the vulgarities to Joel Hall, our co-commentator, as Lachlan Honan. Well, the full toss to Hunter, and it goes down for a single to our friend Jack Hargreaves in the police academy. As that one also fires towards Hargreaves. He does well. It's a single. Jeez, did Summerfield get a piece of that or what?
He did, didn't he? But well fielded. Well fielded, well bowled, as you hear the shout, and that's the end of another over.
Yeah, so that's 11 overs gone. 2 for 93. 2 for 93. So in terms of run rate, they are obviously going a bit under 8.5 and over, like slightly.
Yes.
So they're not going too bad. I think they would like it if Summerfield stays out there a bit longer, another 4 or 5 overs at least.
Most definitely.
Gives Hunter a chance to get himself set, and if they can have Hunter and Matthews fit and firing at the business end of this innings, this could be on.
Matthews' performance in the first game has sort of been overshadowed, hasn't it? There's been some tremendous knocks by a few boys in this BPL comp, but he definitely held his own, and he played some fantastic shots to start off the day. I
love watching him bat. He strikes a really nice ball as Josh Connolly comes in to start the 12th over. Oh, and he's just given it to Summerfield at waist height. That was not the plan, and Summerfield obliges.
Yes, and again, just clearing that front leg, bang, straight over cow corner. 6 runs. It had a low trajectory.
Yeah.
And it's even bounced up almost onto the runway here in Ipswich. But and they've fielded that nicely in the long grass.
I'm loving this because this is high quality amateur cricket, but it is still amateur. There is still like kangaroo droppings around and like fence jumping to go and get the ball, and as Summerfield brings up the 100 for his team, 2 for 100 in the 12th over, so tracking quite nicely.
Yes, most definitely.
Brings Corey Hunter on strike. They're bringing fine leg up. Interesting. He's shown a propensity to want to do that lap sweep, and obviously they're going to try and encourage him to do it.
He gets on the back foot, and again, well fielded in the inner circle.
Just a single, so score moves to 2 for 101.
Knocked up the triple digits.
Yeah, they're going okay. A big lack of wickets in this entire match. In 5 in like 32 overs, as Summerfield has deposited that halfway up a tree. I think not quite.
No,
but another 6.
That was a very nice shot from Summerfield. And it sounded good off the bat, that one too, didn't it?
Just, my goodness. The Coastal Marlins, wherever they're getting their bats from, look them up because they have some middles on them.
They do. I'm sure they're within the guidelines of the bats these days. Remember that?
Absolutely.
Maybe Warner had the tree trunk out.
like 3 pound whatever.
Yes. And the ICC's like, not today, mate. That's got to stop.
Oh, he's gone. That's his 3rd 6 of the over. That's the biggest of the lot, that one. That is huge. And this innings is really starting to move now.
Wow.
So 2 for 113. This is still the 12th over. So the run rate is now moved to above 9.5 per over. Josh Connolly, former ACT second 11 player, is copping a little bit of tap here from Adam Summerfield, who is goes again. Has he found the gap? He's
land safe.
One bounce just for a single.
Yeah, he went bang, bang, boom. There, he did. That was another great shot down to that same area. Long on. on the onside, and that brings us to the end of another over.
Yeah, 12 overs gone, 2 for 114. It looks like Summerfield is heading off. I don't know why. I think they were about to retire him.
Yes,
That would have been odd.
but they said keep going.
Yes,
So
he was coming off.
he was.
I was very confused about that. There was no reason to be out.
No.
He doesn't look injured. Maybe he just has somewhere to be, or like maybe he's heard about these exceptional 8 out of 10 pizzas at the food truck.
Wants to get some.
Just thought, you know what, I can't eat that while I'm out here. Or he's heard about some excellent deals at Mazda at the moment as the power surge is called. So he was going to walk off with the power surge
Exactly.
about to be called. What is going on? I think
I kind of want to ask what's going on.
you're more than welcome to if you want to.
Yeah.
Coastal Marlins, I would suggest the plan was that they were just going to try and get some overs into
Some other boys.
another batter before finals. But I think they've realised that when he's hitting them this well and the power surge available,
Yeah.
may as well leave him out
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
See if we can get 100. See if we can get 200s in one game.
That'd be something. That'd be a BPL first.
Absolutely. Yeah, I reckon it'd be a BBL first.
Yeah.
And so wide from Sam Neill to start. As predicted, he has been trusted with the power surge over. Such was his discipline earlier in the innings. So the score moves to 2 for 115 after 12 overs. So basically they're almost going at 10 and over, which means they're ahead of the run rate. That was a fantastic over from Summerfield against Connolly there. Oh, that's really good fielding from Ward, and it's created a dot ball. I hope that was on the camera there.
Yes. He hit that very well.
It was just in the absolute corner. You can see his red hat pop up in the bottom left corner. What a shame. It was a good shot from Summerfield and a great piece of fielding from Ward. Save 4 runs for sure.
Oh, again.
Oh! You'd
There's
call
a bit
it,
of a mix-up.
You'd probably call that a drop catch, but it's very harsh on
Harsh,
Sam Neill.
right? Yeah.
This was fairly hit.
It was a mirror image of the ball before, except Neil just got a hand to it this time.
Yeah, Ward was not stopping that. That would have been 4 coming straight towards you and me. Neil gets a hand to it. He may that's the kind of thing that would break a thumb or something.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
Summerfield, as we said, that middle of that bat, very, very nice. Corey Hunter on strike. Fine leg is up. He's gone up over the tallest man in the field.
That's 4 runs.
Ward, and that is 4 runs indeed. Moves the score along to 120 for 2 in the 13th over.
That was very nice. The 2 balls prior just drilled him hard and low, and this time got some elevation on it, took the risk, but it paid off.
I'd say WinViz is pushing towards maybe 65 Marlins for me now. There's still a lot of runs to get, so a wicket soon. Or did he get it? Oh no, just goes down. That's a great effort.
McInerney.
Yep, as I said, bat bowl field.
Yes.
Is like the BPL's Glenn Maxwell. Only a single there for Corey Hunter, but I'm not sure if he actually got to that on the full or not. Either way, it's definitely saved 3 runs.
It looks like they're definitely trying to launch this over, but
Yeah. As he goes again, here's Summerfield. There is a long on back. I think it's Jack Hargreaves, which means it's a guaranteed save. and 2 runs is the result. So the score moves to 123 for 2. Sam Neill doing a little bit of slot bowling at the moment.
yes.
He'd want to sort out that length. If you're going to bowl in the slot, do something with it, slower ball, something like that.
Bit of a change up.
But otherwise, you want to be hitting that Yorker length probably. He's tried there. It ends up being a low full toss to Summerfield. He bangs it down to long on for 1.
And that brings us to the end of another over number 13.
Yes, so the score is 2 for 124. Just sitting at the run rate that they want to be at right now. They got wickets in the shed, important ones too. I really wouldn't be retiring Adam Summerfield. Like, unless he has, like, what would he have to go to on a Sunday night? Who would know?
I'm not sure.
Important family dinner.
Well, you have to get to a podcast. Don't forget.
Yeah, I do have to get to
Tonight.
something as well. Yeah, I've got. I'm doing it's called Pretty Fly. It's a 90s nostalgia podcast, and me and my friend from Sydney, Daniel Lang, we get each other to consume pieces of 90s media. So
Right.
last week I got him to watch a movie called Before Sunrise, very good romantic movie made by the same dude that made School of Rock, Richard Linklater.
Okay.
And so I'm more into that sort of like critically acclaimed movie. He got me to watch Happy Gilmore.
Did he?
So we're going to be talking about Happy Gilmore tonight.
I might have to listen to that one.
Yeah, Pretty Fly.
Yeah.
Pretty Fly. As Ward comes into the attack again to bowl the 14th over. 2 for 124. He has the intimidating prospect of bowling to Adam Summerfield,
Yes.
who is in a mood. And the field is up, so there is long on, and there is a deep backward square leg. It will be bowling pretty straight. It's coming around the wicket, and maybe a little bit too straight there. Not called a wide, despite the fact that it was very clearly a wide.
As this, game draws to a close, what's your for the day? I know Summerfield's going nicely so far, and he hasn't finished his innings. But
Yeah, it's true.
well, who's your pick of what's your performance to pick from? We've seen some stellar
Yes, you're right.
shows. As Summerfield just tries to persuade Bo with a nice 6 on the onside. That was hit well.
It was. Moves the score to 2 for 130. Look, it's hard to go past Connor McInerney with 106 not of 52.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's probably your choice as well, although Summerfield's the only one from here, unless a bowler goes absolutely berserk with the Rockets. Summerfield's the only one that could possibly take it from him.
Yes.
Put it this way, if they both get 100,
Yeah.
and whoever wins is the most impressive.
Ooh. See, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright. I like it.
What
I
do
was
you
gonna
think?
say McInerney, considering the situation he found himself and the team in.
Yes, that's true.
I would even if the Marlins, even if Summerfield goes on to make 100 plus and they end up winning, I would probably still be tipping my hat to McInerney.
There was a lot of composure, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And that's not always easy in a 2020 situation. As the full toss that Summerfield gets a bit of a chunk of, but just a single out to the sweeper on the boundary. Moves the score to 2 for 131 and brings Corey Hunter to the strike in the 14th over. This is the last over of the power surge, by the way, so a good opportunity to move the run rate even further in their favour.
Yeah.
While the field is up. All the fields on the offside are up. Ooh. I think Hunter kind of double bluffed himself there, trying to make room for that offside, but Ward bowls it outside the off stump. That brings the over to a close. That's the 14th over done, and the score is 2 for 131. They are on track for run rate. A couple of overs ago, it looked like Adam Summerfield was going to retire.
Yeah.
Retire out, I suppose, but it looks like he's going to stay out there
He
now.
wanted an early shower, and they told him to keep going. So
Don't mind it, the early shower.
he had to turn back and head back out to the crease as the power surge was happening too. So
Yeah, that's tactically shrewd to leave the in bat out there.
yeah, that's right.
Like these sort of patches of form are rare enough. You don't want to not cash in when it's available to
That's
you.
right. As Drennan and McInerney just had a bit of a meeting there, trying to sort out. Yeah.
Going with Reece McDonald here, who was a wicket taker. Dismissed. Who did he dismiss? It wasn't Chris Glass. It was Aspen.
Aspen, that's
Got
it.
Aspen out. Sorry, it's very difficult without a without a live scoreboard here. I didn't think to write down the batters' names. As Summerfield is on strike to Reece McDonald.
Oh, he
Advances, doesn't quite get it. Will the fielder? No, he won't. He won't
safe
get there.
again.
Goodness, he's riding his luck occasionally
It's
here.
happened a couple of times now.
Yes. The score moves to 132. So let's talk match equation. They need 56 runs off 29 balls.
Okay.
So there's still a lot of work to do.
There is a lot of work to do, but as long as Summerfield's out there,
Hunter's not a bad foil either, as we've just seen. He's just launched it into his teammates.
oh yes,
For 6.
now Hunter. As long as Summerfield and Hunter are out there, they've got. It's definitely doable, and they can hit a long ball quite clearly from the example shown.
And my apologies. I've got the maths wrong. I've fooled myself here. So it's now 50 to win. Make that 49 with that single to long on. So 49 to win, but there's actually 5.5 overs left. So it's 49 off 33.
Right.
So
a few more balls up their sleeve.
yeah, even better for the Marlins. And doable becomes quite doable. 49 off 33 with 8 wickets in hand. That's good bowling from McDonald.
That's a dot.
Dots are quite valuable at this point. Yeah, if you're not going to be getting wickets, you've got to be getting dots as often as possible.
That's exactly right. It's about that, and teams will sometimes, if they aren't, getting much luck, they'll definitely resort to making sure that overs are economical.
Yeah. McDonald charges in. A little bit of a Q end there, I think, from Summerfield, and a single the result. So 2 for 140 in the 15th over, well, last ball of the 15th over here.
See, the way the Rockets started, we thought this would be about where they'd land. They've made a game of it, as this has been
Almost a good stop there.
Down to long off, and another 4 for the Marlins.
Good shot, isn't
I
it?
think we have a retirement.
Yes, it looks like Adam Summerfield is going to have the aforementioned early shower. They're going to bring Josh Matthews out to finish the job. What a luxury they have at their disposal, being able to call on guys like that when you just feel like giving someone a rest.
Yes.
Summerfield obviously not too worried about the score on the 100. A very fine innings indeed from him.
He deservedly gets a round of applause as he exits the field of play, Summerfield. Fantastic innings.
And Josh Matthews, a half century earlier today, so he's in some decent touch.
He's a good half century.
Yeah, he's
Matthews.
a class player, Josh Matthews. He'll be on strike immediately because Corey Hunter just hit the 4 to end the last over. So they need 44 runs in 30 deliveries. Now, I don't know if that technically counts as a wicket or not, the retirement there. So he's taking the pads off. Hopefully for him won't be required. That's a no ball.
No ball.
So it's an extra run to the total, but importantly, that'll be a free hit of Lachlan Honan here, or is it not? I didn't see him signal free hit. Yes, he has
there we
now.
go. Interestingly, it's Matthews who was on strike.
Yeah, Hunter hit the 4 off the last bally over,
Yes.
so Matthews will have strike for the free hit, and he's fairly got a chunk of it out to deep mid wicket for a single. Last time I saw him with a free hit, he almost hit my car. So he would have done well to hit my car from here.
I was going to say, that'd be the shot of the year in any form of cricket.
It would be the shot of cricket ever. As Hunter
wow.
puts in his own nomination and hits a 6 as well. Brings up the team 150 as they move to, let's call it 3 for 152 because of that retirement.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that he would have retired out in that circumstance. He was not injured as far as I can tell. So 3 for 152 in the 16th over.
Probably raced up to go grab a pizza.
Yep, I'll tell you what, he could do worse things with his life than going to get one of those pizzas. Oh, Hunter. He's found the gap there too. That's a great shot.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a good player. That's 4 runs for Corey Hunter to back up his 6 that he's just hit. Moves the score to 3 for 156 in the 16th over, chasing 188 to win.
That was Drennan-like.
That was lovely.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
He timed it, just didn't try and hit the cover off it. Timed it nicely, and yeah, found its way to the boundary. And there's a field change. Fine leg drops back.
Yeah, it looks like Drennan just wants to get out of the over, although he's brought mid-off up.
Mid-off up, yes.
And Hunter accepts the invitation to attack the offside, and it is fielded in the deep.
But it ends up going for 4.
The poor fella. He's put in a real good effort out there, Ryan Walker, but could not reel it in. The score moves to 3 for 160 in the 16th over, so they're now tracking it at 10 runs and over now. And this is now starting to really get away from the Southern Rockets.
Yes. Just when you thought the Rockets had posted a total that was not untouchable, but would have taken a big effort.
It takes some significant touching.
Yes. Marlins have definitely showcased that today as he sends it down to the exact same position he did
This
through
time,
the covers. Yes, his last ball.
This time it's reeled in by Ryan Walker, so it's just a single this time. Honan copying a little bit of tap this over from Corey Hunter. And it's good to see Hunter free his arms up a little bit. He's a very talented bat. Oh, good ball from Honan. Just Matthews does enough to jam it into his own foot and get a single. Not pleasant jamming it into your own foot. Wouldn't recommend.
And that brings us to the end of 16.
Yeah, 16th over. So at the end of the 16th over, they're 3 for 162. So going up more than 10 and over. They only need 28 now from 24 deliveries.
That's more my language. 28 from 24.
I can start doing that if you like. 28 of 24. Let's. I hope I'm right. Like I'll be close if I'm not.
Well, you're only 1 run off last game.
Yes.
So I back you.
Well, I stand by the fact that I think I was right, and then Daniel came over and corrected me, and I'm like, okay. Including that one, he's like, yeah. No, I'm like, okay. And then sure enough, they were,
Yeah.
So maybe I was right. I would love it if the scorers just yelled out what the score is, because my cricket is not helping us at all.
No. It hasn't been our friend today, has it?
No, it hasn't.
My cricket.
Everyone would probably assume that the Coastal Marlins have been none for 5 for about an hour and a half. This is not Test cricket. Ryan Walker is into the attack in the 17th over as... Oh, that's a huge shot.
4 runs.
Cannon into the practice nets over there from Josh Matthews. Gee whiz. Guy can bat, can't he?
Yeah. No, he's a clean hitter, Josh Matthews. And what's probably, been good to watch is the fact that he's hit 360.
Yeah.
He's not closed off to, just the onside or anything like that. He's that ball running on the offside, and yeah, he's hit all around the ground, Josh Matthews.
Oh, he was trying to hit that out of the ground. But he accessed the fine leg portion of the 360 and got a single there.
Single, correct.
So it's 21 required of 22 now, with 7 wickets in hand. Ryan Walker continues, this time to Corey Hunter. Looks like a wrong end.
First sweep again. Push through for 1.
It's like, no, not on Jack Hargreaves' arm. What are you doing?
Yeah.
20 off 21. Okay, so if you're a Southern Rockets, if you're the captain, Lee Drennan here, Josh, what are you trying to do?
Well, yeah, that's a good question.
It's tough, isn't it?
It's a very good question.
Oh dear, it's gone high. The fielder coming in. Grayson Jones takes it well.
Takes the catch.
Oh, there we go. So there is the 4th wicket. Ryan Walker takes it. So 4 for 168 is the score.
Yeah, look, I just think, economically there's probably not much point because they can really, just go run a ball.
Yeah.
I think it's, as that helps a wicket. Wicket's always, that's the obvious answer, is as many wickets as possible, but a wicket helps. And I think just if you can get 2 new batsmen at the crease, then you give yourself that bit more of a chance.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that, they get 2 fresh batsmen at the crease, and the second they get to the crease, if that eventuates, they put the pressure on straight away. Put the pressure on immediately, try and get them on the back foot, try and rattle them a bit, and see what that can do for them.
I think you're right about that. I'm just trying to ascertain who the new batter is. I think it might be Zach Kuhn, the captain. Yes, it is Zach Kuhn. So he opened the innings last time. He abdicated that position to Adam Summerfield, which has just gone terribly. His experiment failed.
Yes.
Not. 20 off 20 required, chasing 188. So they're currently 4 for 168. And Zach Kuhn, the classy, elegant left-hander, joins Corey Hunter at the crease. Still with a job to do.
Yeah.
If he eats a few too many dots here, there could be some pain as they're bowling with a trainer on the field.
Trainer's still out there, and the reverse sweep has come off.
Oh, that's a lovely shot from Hunter. He's picked the gap beautifully.
It won't go for 4, but they'll get 2, and that's probably the most successful one of the day.
Yeah, just about, I'd say.
I think there was actually one earlier that ran for 4 in the first game, but yeah, that was second best. Take silver.
Let's see if we'll find bronze. As Corey Hunter plays a more traditional sweep shot, albeit a bit more elevated, and just a single, moves the score along to 171 at the conclusion of the 17th over, 4 for 171. The equation is that the Coastal Marlins need 17 runs of 18 deliveries, if my accounting is correct, with 6 wickets in hand, and that is including a retirement of Adam Summerfield,
yes,
who was pretty exceptional, frankly.
Yeah, it was a great display, and he got him on the front foot early. He did. So yeah, fantastic work from Summerfield, who now gets to put his feet up and watch the boys, hopefully for him and the Marlins, take it home.
Yeah, the Southern Rockets, they really need to get rid of Corey Hunter, who's now on strike. That's priority numero uno. And then from there, it's a matter of dotting up those new batters and seeing if they can take it into the last over with, 8 or 9 to get, put some pressure on them. As Sam Neill bowls, his hit out to Cow for a single.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about getting it to that last over, because anything can happen.
Yep.
You're dead on. If they try and win the game now, it's not going to happen.
No.
But if they push it to the last over, 6 deliveries is all it takes, for a victory, then they can manufacture that. But yeah, if they look too far ahead too soon, then they could come unstuck.
And they're all good enough players, so they would all know that.
Yes.
And Sam Neill, particularly, a very classy young player, certainly capable of A, getting a wicket, and B, accumulating some dot balls here, particularly with the new batter on strike, although there is an easy single out there to the cover point boundary for just that one. So the score moves to 4 for 173, and the equation becomes 15 off 16 in the 18th over. Lee Drennan wants to make a quick little adjustment. He's bringing the deep square leg fielder into the circle. We're going to go hold hands with the square leg umpire. But bowls it outside off anyway, and it's just a single out to the point boundary. Pretty much a mirror image of what we just saw from Zach Kuhn.
Yeah.
4 for 174. The equation becomes 14 off 15. And they pretty much mirror the field. So that cover point goes back. Square leg comes up. Ooh. Oh, it's an edge, and that's coming to you, Joshy.
I'm not quite. There.
Not quite. It's a Daria effort from you. Just throw the hand out and hope for the best. 178 is now the total. The equation, 10 required of 14 deliveries. I believe. I will have to remind the audience that we are operating off pen and paper.
Yes.
So if the score isn't accurate, I apologise. The My Cricket has just completely shot itself, and we're just hoping for the best here. Me and Joshy,
Yep.
getting through it. Had a few technical
We
difficulties.
have.
The
What was
ball.
it? The camera wasn't working this morning.
Yeah,
Or the mics.
the mics weren't working. The camera was a bit funky at times, and
And then now, and obviously the graphics aren't quite operating as well as we would like.
man, we had such a good run in the first innings too. Things were looking so promising.
Yeah.
Sam Neill needs a dot out of this last ball here, and does not get it. It's a single. They're going to run hard. No, it's a
No,
single.
they're not.
So at the end of the 18th over, the score is 4 for 179, I think, and the equation is 9 of 12 required with 6 wickets in hand.
Yes.
Oh man, it's just like I can't even keep track of where I'm writing anymore. So let's just hope I'm right.
We're
Hey?
going to need an A3 sheet.
Yeah,
If
next
we
time.
had to continue, yeah, we'd need an A3 sheet.
I might just buy one of those scorers books and just do it my bloody self.
Hopefully my cricket is back in full swing come finals time.
And it is a fantastic service.
It is.
You'll notice that like the scorers enter it into My Cricket and it automatically turns up on the frog box.
Yeah.
So that everyone at home can see with the interface there, all the team names and logos, and it's really well organised.
There's a missed field and it'll just roll away for 4 as 9 becomes 5.
It does.
And they're just edging that little bit closer to victory here, the Marlins.
Yep, 5 required off 11, as you rightly say. A bit unlucky there for McDonald. He didn't deserve that, but Zach Kuhn just basically pumps it through the square leg fielder. I think the square leg fielder saw a little bit of kangaroo poo on the ball and thought better of it.
Don't blame him.
Yeah, gross. Oh, he's tried to win it in one, and it's gonna land between 3 fielders. Oh no, it's dropped.
McInerney.
McInerney puts it down. Oh my goodness. Did not expect that.
They got a single off it.
He must be tired,
Yeah.
McInerney. That's-
I don't blame him either.
yeah, he's had a tough old day. Well, a good day, but it's a long day.
Yeah.
4 required off 10 now. So Corey Hunter, he'll be thinking boundary.
You would imagine so as
Uh,
he stands on strike.
I reckon we're in for it here, coming straight to us. Oh, he's tried, but no, it's squared it up to cover there and a single.
Get a single.
3 required. Off 9. So-
They've done well here, the Marlins. It could have been daunting seeing the way they ended that match there, the Rockets,
Yeah, incredible.
and the way McInerney was firing, but they've done very well to put themselves in a position
And
to win this match.
There's a wicket! His wicket, we've
We need Joel here.
Yeah, he'll get excited
Yeah.
for some reason. That's a pretty sensible, not sensible, easy catch.
Yes.
Zach Kuhn, his troubles continue. Reece McDonald picks up his 2nd wicket of the innings, and the 5 wickets down now for 185, and the equation becomes 3 required off 8. Can they do it? I'd say yes,
Mate,
they can.
Yeah, you would imagine so. But hey, this is all good news for the Rockets. A wicket,
Yep.
hold the play. Another new batsman out there.
Yeah, Jet Liebke, inventive cricketer, a bit different, a bit funky,
As the field is all up.
as you would. be.
Yes, 100%.
The only fielders outside the circle is that big pack of kangaroos behind Lee Drennan.
Maybe catch one in their pouch.
Just menacingly, just hanging there, ready to attack. Like a pouch catch. I wonder if that counts. As he gets a slice of that.
It stays.
If Ward didn't really go for the run out, I think he was pretty happy with the saved run. So the score becomes 186 for 5. 2 required off 7.
They do it this ball.
Well, the field's up and it's Corey Hunter. So I would suggest he's going to try and hit it in the air.
Yes.
Oh, he tried. Got ball.
Oh.
Dotted him up.
Here we go.
2 to get off the last over. So obviously...
1 to tie, 2 to win.
Yes, you're right. Lee Drennan and the Southern Rockets would have liked a few more runs to play with getting to this last over, but here they are.
Yeah.
They did get here, so now it's a matter of can they perform some kind of miracle, I suppose. We've got Ward coming into bowl. He's the big, tall left armour. Imagine he'll come around the wicket and attack the stumps. The big trick for him will be to make sure he doesn't get his line wrong and he strays onto the pads, because that's easy runs for Jet Deepkey.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Bang. That might be a 6 to finish. It is. Well, congratulations to the Coastal Marlins, who eventually hit 192, trying to chase down 188. Quite early on, it looked like it was on the cards.
Yeah.
And I think I was being a little bit generous to the Southern Rockets when I said it was about half-half with 10 overs left.
Yes.
You seem to think that was quite generous.
I did. I mean, if you take it back to the very start, the Rockets didn't get the best power play, come away in an ordinary position, but Drennan, along with his mate McInerney, took it right to the end. McInerney scoring a century, which fed with the Rockets and gave them a fantastic total at the end of their innings. And going into the innings break, you thought, well, it's anyone's game, really. But as the innings started and progressed, it was the Marlins.
I think I do agree with you that Connor McInerney was the performance of the day, but I do particularly like the villageness of Summerfield just leaving.
Yes.
Like right before the power surge, then being told to stay on.
Yes.
Then he hits a bunch of runs. He's probably on his way to 100 himself.
Then
And then he
he's
just
coming
walks
off.
off anyway.
Yes.
Just changed into his shorts and his thongs, and away he goes. That's incredibly village, and I respect that immensely in the Coastal Marlins performance. So well done to them. To chase down that many runs as comfortably as they did with a few balls to spare is a fine achievement, and puts them in good stead for the finals.
Well, 100% does, and it'll be interesting. Obviously, very exciting as finals are upon us, and be sure to get down here on the Sunday next weekend, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be at Redlands actually.
Redlands.
So even closer for us.
Yes.
We'll be able to get there a lot. I'll be on holidays, unfortunately, but I won't be there. But Joshy, I reckon you should get down there.
Yes.
Because
it's a fantastic day.
It has been fun.
And there's been some notable performances, as we mentioned. But just before we go, Bowie, well done. You're my man of the match, buddy. With all this maths here, you've done a fantastic job, and thanks for steering the ship.
You're quite welcome, Josh, and congratulations on a fine debut. And so from Josh and from me, Bo Nicholson, see you next time. Thanks for your company, and congratulations to the Coastal Marlins. Have fun in the finals.
I would. I'm not looking here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got it's back on a Saturday, so it just depends. But if there's an opportunity, depending on what happens between now and then,
Close enough. But